everybody? Welcome back to another film club with only two today. Jay is a little bit
One and a
poorly,
half
but
then.
Sandy's a little bit poorly, and 28 months as a canary. Wow, canaries are cool. You just take him to a mine before you, so that's good. But how is everybody? If you're in the UK, you got a lot of snow. If you're kind of to the west and up north, but Sandy, how is it with you with your little sniffle?
Yeah, I've got a sniffle. I've got the hot tea, the cold coffee. I like cold coffee. Hot tea, cold coffee, and a few little what do you guys call it? Hallex, little cough
Yeah, we have
drops
that.
here.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah,
So I think I'll be fine. I'll be
Lemsip
fine.
Horlicks.
But Jay is worse than I am. So
It's the man
sadly,
flaw. It always does you. Men are worse.
I wasn't gonna say it, but yeah,
It's a
proof is in
known
the
thing.
pudding
It's
here.
just a known thing. That's it. Yeah. But yes, it's all good. But I do like. I see AWOL knows this movie with the bing bong bing bong. So that's good little comment there. Let's get that up. Where
I
is it?
can't even
But
do
hey,
that noise because of my sore
bing.
throat,
Oh.
but that scene was great because I can really imagine that, being real and,
Yeah.
you know, beep,
But
beep. I can't do
yeah.
it. I can't do what he was doing.
Yeah, we'll have to see what Jay's score was. Maybe if he comes in, we'll find out. But hold on till the last minute, or otherwise we'll find out his score for The Cruel Sea. What we're reviewing today. It's one of my picks, 1953. I seem to have these movies like the Sink the Bismarck that uses real footage, some
Yeah.
footage, and some bad modelling.
Yeah, but it's okay. It's
It's okay.
okay.
It's 1950. But this, I think I said about like that Sink the Bismarck. It's kind of that era where I remember it on like Sunday mornings going over to my granddad's and sitting down. And these would always be on TV, like that matinee movie. But also, I appreciate this movie more as I got older. And when I joined the military, it has an understanding, of course it was the book by the same name, has an understanding of people who are in service. And I think the movie does it really well. It just doesn't show, the danger, but it shows like the men and their journey doing this kind of dangerous job, even to the point where you see some boredom happens and all that. But I think the pacing on this movie, even though it's over 2 hours for 1953, and I think Daryl said it in a chat, it's a long movie for 1953. It's quite I suppose epic. Yeah, there's bits I might reduce, but it's not going to cut a lot off that
No,
time
not at
things,
all.
because it's needed. And I've said the pacing, it fits with it being a 2 hour movie. I know today we get 2 hours movies all the time, but yeah, for that it was a bit of a I always forget it's a long movie. But yeah, this one is a very British movie, let's say that, with a lot of unintentional Star Trek references. What you get
Well,
to pick it up.
a good writer is going to use, good, well-rooted references. And of course, when we look at our space programs, whether it's fictional or real, we base a lot of our terminology and all kinds of the directions and orders and all that in the space program from the Navy, because it's the next frontier and it ships and it makes sense. So I like to think that the writers of Star Trek, they definitely did their homework, and the good Star Trek, and they would have looked back on historical references like this, in their writing. So yeah, I like hearing that, not because I think, ooh, that's Star Trek, but because it makes me think, hey, Star Trek did a good job.
It works as well when Patrick Stewart does it with a British accent. Number one.
It does. God, I love that man.
So yeah, when Jack Hawkins, Erickson says it, number one. Just like because he's got that kind of gravelly British tone about him as well. It's it does it does hit home like yeah, feel like I'm feeling the Star Trek vibes. But yeah, for this one now we're gonna do something different today, everybody. We're gonna show a little bit, not everything, but we're gonna show a little bit of a different view. So yeah, the cruel sea. Now I do like the trailer, how the trailer and the original one reference so hard the book.
Yes.
So yeah, you couldn't get away with no, that's it. And even this, it's the writer. It's not the director they put, written by and directed by. It's the author's name comes first on the on the movie.
This book was a
opening.
huge hit, and that's why this book was a bestseller. And there's a reason why. And although unfortunately I didn't finish the book because that's when I got really sick, and I was listening to the audiobook and I just couldn't deal with the ear pain. The book is fantastic, and I will finish it. And I've added this to my list of audiobooks that now I need a hard copy of, and maybe I need a first edition of it, because the book is so, I love clear writing. It's not overly flowery. It's also not overly technical. And as reflected in the film, the book focuses on the characters, the men, their relationships to each other and their relationships outside of the ship, the compass rose. And I really did enjoy it. So this book was a big hit and very well deserved. Book was published in 1951. Film was released in 1953. So another story of, hey, we picked up a great book. Let's hurry up and make a film.
I must say I'm just over an hour into the audio, and I was so surprised. There's like you get a lot of books that are good books, but they change the dialogue because it's
dialogue's the
this
same.
is spot on.
Spot
Everything.
on.
And I think that first probably 20 minutes of the audio book, it's near enough.
It's identical.
Yeah, it's literally I was like, I'm literally how it was filmed and how it was described in the book. It's carbon copy. It's
word for word.
It was like
I
that
agree.
is great. One out a great author and a great director of going, no, it's good as it is on the page, and we can just kind of it's you feel like
That's
could actually
what it is.
I think some parts of it you could actually watch the movie and actually have the audio book, and you would still get the reference. You would still feel like there would be no difference between the two. It's quite a unique style to do that in writing a book, because sometimes what you write is not how people talk, but the author's got it right. That's how people talk. So it's and coming across well written at the same time. And it doesn't feel like you get some British Navy where they feel a bit prim and proper. This just feels right how they have the dialogue between each other. So yeah, it's
and that's because Nicholas Montserrat did serve in the Navy, and so while this is not a true story, just to be super clear, this is a work of fiction, but it is based on his real life experiences, both at sea and coming home to learn of the damage at home. Because when you're at sea, you don't hear what's happening at home. The men have to focus on what's happening, what their mission is. And we'll see in a bit, we'll see one of the scenes when the men return home, one of them to find his home destroyed. And that all of that was captured so well in the book and very faithfully reproduced in the film. So I think you and I are agreeing. But I did just want to, the very beginning of the story, that quote.
As I brought up this little scene with the sea, because it's over the top. It's great.
Literally, while I was on a plane starting to listen to this book, I had to pause and rewind 5 times so I could write down the quote in my little commonplace book that I keep with me, like that I put quotes in, because I think it resonated with me again, kind of sort of with the Moby Dick story, where it's not the whale that you can't conquer, it's the sea. It's And that was the quote to begin the film.
Mm. Yeah, the sea like kind of first, but man has now made it worse because
That
we're having a
man has
war.
made more cruel.
Cool,
The
that's it.
only
Because we're
villain is the sea, the cruel sea. That man has made more cruel. I
mm,
like that
yeah,
quote.
I do. It's great just to have like this moment on the sea. I think it's just great, and then of course we get the our frigate, our compass rose, and again it's just an overthing. It's just and I'm going to reference first time I'm going to do it in the book, but how they describe it and how they do this like the voiceover, it's like it gives you enough, and I think it's quite clever how this movie portrays it as well, because they could have gone naval, I suppose, like that, over the top, explaining everything, but they do enough so you now like a normal viewer who hasn't served will get the experience of being on a ship. What is a ship?
Yeah.
What is a naval ship? And like and it quickly gets into Ericsson's past. He was a merchant sailor, but now he's been given a command of his own in the Her Majesty's uh, a naval as a frigate captain, and he's got this kind of really hash together, make it as quickly as you can. A kind of convoy runner that is its one purpose is to take out U-boats. That's it. It has no other purpose, and that is it. It has a small kind of gun on it. Apart from that, yeah, it's easy pickings. It's just there
Yep.
to convoy away and attack U-boats, and that is it. So, but we get that, but say the first part of the movie is really they're just getting it's just showing we're at war, everybody's being go 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 like this
Mm-hmm.
is, and I must say this is for people that haven't seen, this is 1939, so it's literally they've got a new ship, they have inexperienced officers, we get to see
Completely
that.
inexperienced.
Yeah,
So, and they've
and
got to shake down the ship because this is
yeah,
a new ship. It's got to be fitted out and ready to go, and they
yeah,
don't know what they're doing. They're all new. They're all
yeah,
new.
and yeah. Well, I say even like the rates, the who are coming, they've not had much training and they've never worked on this kind of ship before and their things. But we can see like it's getting fitted. Everybody's looking around. Even you say Ericsson, he's helping out as well around the things. It's just getting everybody things until it turns up and we get the two young lieutenants, I think they are.
My gosh.
Lock.
Now these two, I'm sure you did, James, but over here on our PBS station,
Mm-hmm.
we would get Jeeves and Wooster,
Yes.
and I would watch it in the one with Hugh Laurie and Stephen Fry, and I would watch those on repeats as when I was younger. And Bertie Wooster had his two cousins, his two crazy cousins. Oh my gosh, these two! It was the accent, of course. They're doing that really posh accent, but I'm getting the Wooster twins from these two. And then when Denholm Elliott comes in, I'm totally in Jeeves and Wooster land.
Mm.
But these are Oxbridge kids. These are what these are the upper class
They
who
would
end
be,
up in
yeah,
officer
kind
roles.
of, yeah. They would be. It'd be well educated. Anybody doesn't really know in especially the British side for the Second World War. Really, the it's because the Navy is the senior service. So if you've got a little bit of education, and you're well, you've got a little bit of money for you, and you're well liked, you join the Navy.
Okay.
The posh boys who kind of don't need, they're doing it for daddy's money, join the army. And then the RAF, of course, it was a new establishment, really. It was the commoner. It was mostly common people that joined the Royal Air Force. So, yeah, you're having a good education, a good, stable job. Yeah, it would make sense. Yeah, that would be for the Navy thing. So, of course, you get the other ranks that would higher up. That would
Oh,
already
that's
be
interesting
established.
because
But,
in America, obviously we don't have the same class distinctions, but from I would say the Revolution, the Civil War, and even bleeding into World War I, you did have the more wealthy families who had sons who became generals or
Mm.
admirals, right? It is so, but once you got to World War II and beyond, that sort of eroded, because way back when it was generally only those who went to the military academies, and you only got to the academies back in that day if you were super wealthy or connected.
Mm.
Some would argue that is today as well, but it's more egalitarian today. So that, those class lines have been pretty much eroded going forward. Someone chat might argue with me, but here it is always in these films, it's always so clear that the officers are the upper class. It's just
Yes. It
it's
is,
very
especially with the
clear.
British. It is. I
Yep.
think it does for the British Navy thing. That say it should be like if we ever get, and I think Battle of Britain's on the wheel. You'll see
Yes.
it, and there's a couple. They did it right. There's a couple of like common Londoners in there who are pilots, and then but they had the posh. Most of them were from the home counties around London,
Mhm.
because that's where the aircraft were made.
Yeah.
So I'm a technician now, I'm a pilot, so it was all that kind of, it wasn't people who wanted really to do it. One, your expectant of life was very, very short. Let's say that.
True.
So yeah, being in the Navy was a little bit, I'm guessing what you're gonna have, you're gonna go, you know knowing what the First World War was, were you going to join the army? Or are you going to join the Navy and might, have a little bit of a bit of better time, I suppose, of it. But yeah, I don't know what I would have picked. Especially I've been on a ship. Yeah, I hated it. No, especially when your legs get used to it and it's tilted like that, and you're walking straight, and you realise the door's near enough on its side, and you're like, "That's not right, is it?" Like that. So,
When I talk about my father and my grandfather's service in the Navy, I always say I come from a long line of Navy men, none of whom could swim, because I don't think either of them. My dad did, I think, choose the Navy. My grandfather definitely didn't. It was chosen for him. But it was great to see. If you've not been on a Navy vessel, and I've been on a submarine and two aircraft carriers, and those stairways, they are, you know, they're almost like ladders, they're straight up and straight down, but you walk down them like you're walking stairs. And the trick is to lean backward when you're walking down the stairs, right? Lean back when you're walking down the stairs, and you can walk down them. But if you were to look at those stairs, they're like ladders. They're like almost straight up. But I was noticing the actors going up and down the stairs pretty quickly, and I was like, aha, that's they've practiced, even if they hadn't served.
but I'm
They've
guessing a lot.
practiced.
Yeah, this is what 53. So even if they're in the move like age, like if they're in their mid 30s, they probably would have served at one point. So
Oh
this
yeah.
is where
Yeah.
experience in the military probably helped this film a hell of a lot, especially with, I'm guessing, Jack Hawkins definitely would have served in this. And I don't mind his age in this. I know, like in the book, they say he's like 45. Okay, I can take it, but I wouldn't put that past that. It looks right for the age in the movie. I know the book's a little bit different, but I don't care. But I like these are kind of what is it, the one on the left, Furby is a banker, and then
Yeah.
Lockhart, what was Lockhart?
Oh gosh. Was he a No, I think
Oh,
Farabee was a lawyer, right? He
was he
said a
was he a
barrister.
lawyer? Yes. Oh yes, and the other one, the
I
banker,
forget
wasn't
what Lockhart said he
it?
was.
Maybe it
Oh
was the
gosh.
banker. I can't remember. But yeah, their why Navy, because they've had some time at sea, and I'm guessing that
Yachting.
was it. When that is it.
Yachting.
That is it. Yachting. I've yeah. And I'm guessing maybe that was it. Signing up. Have you ever been on a boat? Yes. Navy. Like that. What? It was a canal. Yeah, but that's all we need. If you just know how to step on a boat, that's all we need.
That's all they
It's
need.
it's yeah, it's great. But they go on and they're like, I think they've like not even like 6 weeks training, have they, or
Yeah,
something? Isn't
5 weeks.
it?
It said 5 weeks
Yeah,
in the book.
yeah. So yeah, and then yeah, they salute wrong. He tells them, "You don't salute. I can't give it back if we're indoors. So the best thing to do is to
Take
take
off
off
your hat.
take your cap." It's just great. It's great because he's like, I am the only officer here, and we find that he's current number one.
There's
with any
125 men on this ship and
yeah
only a handful.
yeah, and
Yeah.
he's like it's only him who's got any actual command sailing experience. Everybody else newbies, and I think it's just him and what's the engineer? I can't remember his name now. Oh, but yeah, it's great. They're just like
Hang on, I got my.
Is it moral?
No, that's not Morrill. That is the engineer is Tallow
Tallow
or Watts.
That's
It's either Tallow or Watts, one of those.
Tallow, I think. No, Tallow is the other one.
Tallow's
So
the
it's
one whose
Watts.
house gets destroyed.
Yes.
And Watts is the one
Spoilers.
who wants to marry his sister. We'll hang on to
Yes.
that for a minute.
But I just think it's good. Like, yeah, this whole interaction of like, yeah, you've just got to learn, and then we get he's current number one.
Stanley Baker from Zulu.
Oh, so, is he? Oh, yes. He's number 2 in his 2 movie.
It's Stanley Baker. So this is our second film for Stanley Baker, and I just want to let's go back to our to Erickson, to Jack Hawkins. What film was he in?
Zulu as well.
He was in Zulu as well. He was Otto Witt. Remember the preacher?
Oh yes.
He was
Yes,
Otto.
yes.
Yeah. So Stanley Baker and Jack Hawkins.
I wonder if that was Ealing as well. Ealing Studios. I wonder.
Oh, you know what? I don't remember. But we'll also get Jack Hawkins when Bridge on the River Kwai comes up.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll also get Stanley Baker one more time. If I don't know if we have it. If we don't, it's going on there. If the Guns of Navarone come up.
No.
I don't think we have the Guns of Navarone on the.
I say these British actors, literally, for me, this is kind of.
Yes, we do.
Yes.
Yeah, we do have Navarone on the list, and so we'll see.
Definitely not in a Western though.
I'm sorry, Daryl. We're not doing it on purpose. It's this bloody wheel.
But this guy, like, I do like how I'm doing a Sandy going back to the book. Is when I think it's one of the colonels has to write down in his book. He's got a journal kind of book of all the officers, every ship out there, tells them how they trained and what every officer is like. And his example for this officer is like he likes to delegate and he doesn't know what he's doing really. Kind of like he's arrogant, and that might be good going forward, but at the moment it's not very good. Yeah, he
plays it very well.
Yeah,
he plays it very well.
He's I'm number one. I'm, listen to what I do. You're kind of inexperienced officers, and then you kind of find out, yep, so are you though. Like,
I'm your lieutenant.
Yeah.
I'm your lieutenant over and over again. It's like, good. Yeah. All right, shut up. We know.
And it's like he's had like what I think it's like 3 months more. That's the difference. It's
gone to his head.
Nothing. Yeah. But then we find out even later, isn't it, that any officer, because there's so little kind of thing, if you get to a certain, you automatically get promoted. So he probably just got automatically promoted for time in service because they didn't have enough whatever second lieutenant and colonels or whatever,
period.
Like,
yeah,
it's like, quickly just get ranked up. But yeah, he's this, and I do like the interaction. Like this bit is like he's smoking. And they're like, well, we're not at sea. We're not doing, our full things. And he's like, nope. Yeah, we're, I don't want anybody smoking unless they're at easy. So, yeah, he's like, he's just putting his mark down because this is Tallow, who is like that. And I'm going to really bad with naval ranks. I can't really see what it is. But he'll be like the senior non-commissioned officer, I suppose, like the equivalent to a warrant officer, but I don't know what they are in. I'm really bad. I completely forgot in the Navy, so that's my bad.
Petty officer? Is that a petty officer?
Yeah, might
what
be.
We would call a chief petty officer would be our, yeah,
must be. Yeah, the only time I've ever known one, it was a bit of a git when I landed on a helicopter on HMS Albion. We all had to line up, and he wanted to like who's there, marked it off, and then he just got to me. Shouted up my surname, of course, and then looked up, saw I was Royal Air Force, and just grabbed my badge, leaned into it. He went, "Ha! I'll remember you."
Oh, goodness.
And then I was like, "What the hell?" And then he got me doing It was the most stupidest assignment ever. This one, like, I was the only Royal Air Force on this ship. There was Royal Marines at the back, and they're not allowed to mix with anybody else, so they're not allowed to go forward into the Royal Navy parts. Me, I could go anywhere, and the reason was I think they mostly did it is because there's alcohol down that end. So in that, like the cookhouse or whatever, the mess.
Troublemakers.
Yeah. So what? But they get bored because they're stuck and they're not allowed to go above. So they're stuck in their little metal cabins. So I signed it, and it said like report to. I can't remember who it was, and I went, "Yeah, I've got a report to you doing a duty." And he was like, "You're kidding, are you?" And then petty officer, what's the name? Like, "I stitched you up." And I was like, "What do you mean?" He went, "Your job, your duty, is to go in the Royal Marines part of the ship." And I went, "Yeah." And he goes, "When they start fighting, to stop them."
Oh,
I was like, "Sorry." And he was like, "They will start fighting each other for betting, for fun, whatever it is. And when they do, you've got to stop them." I went, because our, the police or whatever, goes, they're doing other things. So yeah, you have to go in there. And I just looked, and I just grabbed my rank badge and went, "And I'm going to bed. Bye-bye."
Out of here.
And he was like, "What?" And I went, "You are kidding me. The only Royal Air Force person going in there, I'm going to go and join a bunch of Royal Marines." I went, "Soon as I open that door and they see Royal Air Force, I'm going to get the crap kicked out of me." I went, "No." I went, "You've got things." I went, "No, if something happens, it happens. I'm going to bed." Like that. So I was like, "No, sod you." And then like the guy, just literally, fair play to him, he wrote "job done" and signed me out. And the petty officer went, "Good job last night." And I went, "There you go." I didn't even do it. And he was like, the guy just gave me a wink. Yeah, I was like, great. But yeah, that was a time. But nobody really liked me on that ship. It was quite funny because like everybody's like, "Why is he wandering around?" Just in like, "Yes, hello," like prim and proper. And I can't help it. It's really badly. And every person who's served in Royal Air Force will do this. Soon as you go with other services, for some reason you go really posh. Don't know why, and you start going, "Oh, hello," like, "Jolly what do you want?" Like that. And mostly you just do it to take the piss.
Turn into David Niven.
Yeah, it's great. But on this one, Talar is he's getting a little bit of a shakedown from the first officer, number one. And he's just trying to give a bit of authority.
He's
to
full
his
of himself, as we would say. He's very full of himself.
Yeah, and even to where we get to, like, he spots the two young lieutenants of, like, the number one's got his own quarters, and they've got this kind of really tiny room for two that they clean up. And of course because they didn't search him out, and Erickson told them to go and look around the ship first, then report to him. And he's like, "No, you should have reported to me first." But they kind of get away with it. And again, he interrogates them of like, "Well, if you've been around the ship, how many fire hydrants are there?" And was it Lockhart?
14. He makes it up. Whatever 14, it is, 14, he makes it up.
14. Well done, smart Alec, or something, doesn't he? And he was like, and then the other guy is, "Well, what?"
Wow, good on you for knowing that.
Yeah.
Well,
but the other one guy gets done, like,
but he didn't.
What gun? Yeah, 14. And he goes, "Yeah." Yeah, and he was like, "I said something." Why? Because I knew he wouldn't know either. Yeah, it's just like, got it. He was like, but he didn't like the answer. He's like, "Oh, okay, you knew it," because he wanted to kind of just again put his a stamp on them two, that I'm the boss here. But
it's another example of this is the dialogue straight from the book.
Yes,
straight from the book.
Literally copy.
And so well written and really crisp and translated so well onto the screen. And we'll get into it later, but this film was nominated for one Oscar, and that was screenplay. It was for the translation of the book into a script. It didn't win, but it was nominated, and it should have been well deserved.
But yeah, I do like these two. Yeah, they are like a little buddy boys at the beginning, aren't they? It's like that. But now we get the rates turn up. a bit of fresh and color. Now this bit is different from the book, but I don't mind it. And
Yeah.
where they get the stokers and the stokers on the left there, and the rates, the normal Navy sailors on the right, and because the ship's so small, they've got to bunk together.
Yep.
What? And it's like that, and there's no canteen, and it's like that. And I know for being on a ship, if they didn't have the canteen there, that trip would have been miserable.
You would be so on each other's
Yeah.
nerves, right? Because there's
Oh,
no
yeah.
place to like just get away from the people sharing your bunk space. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, on this, it's then they're like, well, this is gonna be fun. Yeah, but again, they've never seen the ship of this type of before. It's it's quickly made to call drinks. But now they different. We go on straight onto a convoy here. Next bit. In the book, they do a bit of training, don't they? But it's really, I think, after. But it does not really. It's not needed. But yeah, it's everybody.
And the book, if I could, the book does spend some time at the beginning about their families and their backgrounds, where we start to get hints of that later on.
Yeah, you find
throughout
quite,
the film. But I did just want to. I just noticed the poll. I see what you did there with one of the names of one of the ships. I was going to bring that up later, but I'm not going to say anything now. So for those who haven't seen it, there's a poll. What is the second ship called? So make sure you answer. Put your answer in the poll.
But yeah, I like it because they're all just kind of getting to know each other. Like on this one, we get Furby. He's kind of getting a bit of a bashing because he's in the wrong place for what number one wants, and he's having a bashing because he went off to sea because he's the only one married as the officer. So he went off, having a bit of time. He's been married for, I think it's like 4 weeks or something silly, isn't it? The first officer like, well, I'm not going to let you have time off again to see your wife. Everybody's got to bunk down on the ship. So we just again, it's been
what
bit
a twit. I mean, just what a twit.
He is. But this is Watts. He is
that's Watts.
Our the head engineer, what you want to call him. And he's given the command of like, let's get away. And even to this point, they don't know what to do, but they've got one of the technicians or whatever said, let's start off at this speed. So like they're just a bit wary. They're like, let's do what they say before we push it even harder.
It out first, yeah.
But their relationship is good, and I'm guessing that I think they are quite close, as respectful to each other, because they're the two that have got the experience. They're the only two really have actually any experience on the ship. So yeah, I need you. You're a good commander. I know you can command, and I know you can fix the ship. So it's good. But yeah, off they go. And again, I like Ericsson again with forgot his name now. Baker. No, not Baker.
Lockhart. Bennett. Sorry.
Bennett. He kind of answers him back. He's like, well, I'll go and find out. And he's like, no, do it yourself. And again, it's like that. You're delegating too much. If I tell you to do something, do it yourself. So he tries to get away, but it's Ericsson kind of, he knows what he's like. And he gives him a bit of a bit of a reality check now and again that, you can try it on, but you can't try it on with me. So, yeah, it's good. But, off we go. And I say there's not much of things we get off to see. And it is all about, the preparation. And we're joining the war, really. So this is, And their first... I think their first convoy is just in the North Sea, isn't it? There's not, because there's the Gibraltar run later, and then we get
and then the Russia
the
Russia situation. Yeah, I think this is just North Sea.
Yeah, so we just kind of get things. I think I always ooh and ah in this movie. Is it stock footage? Is it film footage? Because some of it is really sharp, like
super clear.
Like St. Bismarck. If you could blatantly see when they panned out, and that's why I want to show this shot. That it's stock footage. It's literally they clipped it all together. Some of it, I'm like, is this a like they had a one of these ships out there, to of use in 1953 that they kind of decommissioned. They went, can we use it one more time? Take it out. I
Possible.
guess possible
Yeah.
for the time, what, 8
Well,
years?
we're heading
It could
toward
be.
the Korean War at that point, and there were still
Yep.
some World War II vessels being used, although I don't know when Britain entered the Korean War. But in the US, I think we were in the Korean War before Britain helped out. And there were World War II vessels being used.
Yeah.
Some of them were buckets of bolts, as they said. The vessel my dad was on during Vietnam still had a wooden deck. It was the last wooden decked aircraft carrier, the USS Shangri-La. So yeah, this could have been just after the war. There's an interesting note on the filming where there was actual archival footage used. There were a couple of instances where the director had in mind, and I think we all do psychologically, that from wherever you live, leaving should be from leaving should be from right to left, and coming home should be from left to right, even
Yeah.
if geographically that's not correct. And so in a couple of cases, they did they reversed the film, flipped it over so that the actual stock footage would be going in the opposite direction, because they thought the audience needed to always see the ships going to the left when they're leaving England and to the right when they're coming home, regardless of where they were.
That's quite clever.
It makes sense, though, don't you
Yeah.
think? I guess
Yeah, it
in
does.
my
Yeah.
brain, I think about it the opposite way because I live on the East Coast of America. So I do think of leaving anywhere in America, including the West Coast, which makes no sense, going from left to right, and that makes no sense, but maybe it's a psychological thing. But I'm supposing in those shots, they had to pan back or somehow deal with numbers and letters that would have been backwards if they reversed the film. So wonder how they dealt with that. But yeah, this does look super clear.
Yeah.
For
Saying,
1940s footage.
I say it, yeah, and then we get a little bit of training. What is slightly different in the book, they do it slightly different, but this is where Abel did earlier. Bing, bong. I love. He's literally telling these are the sonar operators. They're getting their training on that, and I love. It's just like. Bing,
he's very into it. Very
and yeah, but when they do it real, he's actually did it correct. You're like, oh, it sounds silly. They're like, don't laugh.
It is correct.
Don't laugh. Well, he's like, nope, that's what it sounds like. So we get, and again, they do it. I love this because it's so under technical that I can understand it straight away. I can understand what they need to do, and that's what's good about this. Because 100% it would have been more technical, but. Yeah, it's just that little snippet of like, this is how you read it, and this is what you got to look out for. And they do it in a good way. Is how are you going to know that it's not a debris on the floor or a shoal of fish? Experience. You'll just get to learn to know. Yep. There's no science to it. You'll just have a feeling. It's literally your understanding of.
Now, where else do we get a reference to this in a more recent movie and book?
Ooh, Hunt for Red October.
Hunt for Red October, and in the book, you get just a little bit more of the sub captain, or I'm sorry, the destroyer captain talking about Jonesy, he knows the difference between a whale, another sub. He knows the difference between a whatever class sub it was. God, now I can't remember. I've read that book a bunch of times too. The different Dallas class submarine versus a nuclear sub versus a Russian sub, and it goes into that, and it's the same thing. And it says, well, experience. It's like, well, you're not that old. It's like, but I've got experience. So.
It's cleverly done. Like, all the things, and he is also the narrator in the movie, isn't he? I think this guy who, like, I can't remember. He's one of the things, but he also sometimes.
Oh no, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah. But they're off, and so we kind of start getting their positions in the ship like that. So we get Lockhart. Lockhart, isn't it? Yeah, he's for the sonar, isn't it?
Yep.
and then we get Ferroby. He is communications, I think, as well. I can't remember. He does something, but they start getting their place. But yeah, now they're on the convoy, and they're just searching. They're doing a grid search, and I think they call it squares, don't they? At one point,
Yep.
we do squares, and on that, and it's I do like it because it's just a dead sea most of the time, and then they get a little bit of fun, and it's.
And their
They're just
posh
a bit
little
bored.
dinner
Yeah.
on board ship, and I
Yeah.
just think it's so funny because
And what is Stokies? It's no, what do they call them? Not Stokies. That's the thing. They call their
those
sausages.
sausages,
Oh, what do they call them? They call them something like that.
those
Stocky.
snookies,
Yeah, and he's like,
snuggie. I don't remember.
and he's like, it's because number one likes them, and everybody else hates them. So he's like, we'll get, and he keeps he's ordered loads of them because he likes them. So that's what they're gonna order. But now we get our next officer turns up, and and he's turned up a little bit. He's late because he was at King Edward's, I think their training facility is called, isn't it? He was there for a couple of weeks, but he's a well-to-do fellow. He's he's well off. He's very well educated. He I can't remember. He's the barrister, isn't he? He's the barrister. He was a
That's right.
respected barrister. So he's got that, and he's also got a
And his
glamorous
an actress.
wife.
Yeah,
Yes, she's a
very
famous
well known.
actress at. So he's he's I like it because he comes like straight away. He can see stupid in people, and he knows how to act. So when him and Bennett kind of interact for the first time, he literally responds of things like that. Yes, I can outspeak you. I can out-educate you straight away. I don't care if you're my commanding officer or whatever. It doesn't mean that I'm not as clever. I'm less cleverer than you. So he easily puts him kind of in his place. It's a quite good. And then again, it's, do you want to sit down? Like he goes off. And I like it. It's like, can I have some beer? What do you want? Was it gin? Beer, please. And again, and it's just like, it's getting everybody together. Can't remember what is he in this? His name.
Morel.
Was this Morel?
Morel or Morel?
Morel.
Yes, Morel.
Morel. Yeah. But I do like he's very suave. Let's say that he's very British in this. I don't know what else movies people will think he's from.
Oh, I don't know. Some important
it's on the wheel.
film.
It's on the wheel. It's
some
on the
very
wheel.
important film that we'll get to at some point in time. God bless him. He I don't know if you're going to say it, but another actress that's going to pop up soon was his real life wife, Virginia McKenna, who played the Wren, as you called them.
Mm-hmm.
We had wax and waves. So the Women Air Corps, WACs, and we had waves, women in the Navy. They just called them waves. So you had Wrens. Was it WREN?
Oh, I'm not too sure. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Women something. Reinforcements. I don't know, but I heard him say the Wrens.
Yeah, the Wrens are we all had our equivalent, I suppose. You just couldn't. Yeah, the women had. Yeah, you're in the Navy, but you were nicknamed. You were part of that auxiliary and things like that.
Yeah.
So it's different now, but they all had. Yeah, women aren't in the Navy. They're in that part of the Navy. You're really there to say like and probably still today some of it is same. You're there to be a filing clerk really and get the tea.
Yeah.
And your secretary really, if you've got a little bit of education, they're not going to put you anywhere else, especially in the Navy. Even if I don't know when was the first woman to serve on a naval ship, because they're bad luck wasn't it?
I think it was probably later for the
Yeah.
Brits than it was in the US, because I know in Korea, women were serving,
Mm.
beginning to serve, and, illustrated in MASH and other television shows. But I just remember the old ladies at the American Legion Hall, and they would have like, "Oh, were you a whack or a wave?" And they were also, so they also did technical work. So they did drafting, like,
Mm.
design work for manufacturing in the Navy, like at the old Lockheed Martin or Martin Marietta in Baltimore. And I had ancestors who did that. They were trained to be draftswomen and, do the blueprints, making the blueprints. So they were making copies, but not just running the copy through the Mimeo machine. They were actually doing some hard work. So it was kinda cool, but when I heard Ren, I was like, "Oh, that's kinda cool.
There
That's
you go.
different."
Women
Women's
Royal
Royal
Navy
Naval
Service.
Service. Oh, I like that. I
There
love that.
you go. You always get
Thank you,
Daryl.
Daryl.
If you don't know, Daryl will know. There we go. But yeah, it's again, we're just having a little bit of a getting to know everybody kind of moment, like the who's in command, the established order, but they get there first. We're out now and we're full on to the convoy. This one is where we start off and we get again they're just in the mix, and they have the destroyers, and they're there just to go around everyone, protect and make sure there's not a U-boat around.
Yeah, and this would
And
have been before the United States was in the war, but the United States was transporting, supplies and all kinds of stuff to Canada, and then being run from Canada to the United Kingdom, via these routes. And
yeah,
so the United States was contributing even before we were in the war by providing whatever was needed, ammunition, all kinds of important stuff.
yeah, a lot of sunken US ones, and the most one when they sunk a uh, a US ship full of tourists, wasn't it? Where
The
was it? It was
Lusitania.
Lusitania. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. But yeah, it was mostly I think people forget that. Yeah, it's we need the supplies, and even up the way we see Russia. Yeah, the Americans did that as well. It's like they did that run. So
Yep.
yeah, that must have been horrible. But you got to go really from Newfoundland, ship there, and then off you go. Like where we're going, over the North Cape. Yeah, that's not a nice. Wouldn't be a nice run. But yeah, it's everybody's literally. I like this in the movie because it's kind of the start of the adventure, and I mean that thing because you get that in a lot of war movies. They subtly do it in this movie. We're finally going. Not realizing, again, I do like the sea shots, but look, that's what I'm about to say. Like these shots are crisp.
Yeah.
These
Quite.
are, I don't like whoever may be shot, but like having that much, I don't know if they. Yeah, it's a bit odd that they're that good, but yeah, it's and I like it. Now we get really the kind of the first instance of the cruel sea. If like everybody's getting going, but we kind of get our first storm. They're not fighting anyone. They're fighting the storm, the sea. It's literally, they've got nobody. They know it's too rough for any U-boat is going to attack. They're not going to, identify anything. And yeah, it's literally trying to stay in the convoy whilst it's literally getting rocked. And I think one of them
Yeah.
he's like, you're 12 degrees off. You can't go back, and like that. So yeah, it's mad. And I like it. The only time like Bennett, he's fast asleep with a cigarette out of his mouth. He's like that, and everybody else is like trying to sleep, can't sleep, but you're up top. It's just it's a good little thing that from the beginning statement that their first real danger is the sea. It's not the enemy. The enemy at the moment is the sea. One, you could get knocked off course really bad and then end up with the enemy when it settles down. But also your job is to protect this convoy, and they're having the same problems as you, and they're all trying to keep that one line. So it's a it's a it's a good little start. You know, we just get like go for it. It's like that. But I do like when it gets really bad, they start to, like the flood on the in the
The
in
soup becomes the soup. I mean, just
yeah. And then it gets so bad, it starts to come out. And when he's asleep, it comes out of the I suppose it's like the air vent,
the
everything
vents,
like
I
that,
guess.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like he gets completely soaked, and everybody just like battering down. Even the officer on watch. Tea and rum. I'm not sure I'm gonna like that. A cup of tea and rum.
Oh, really? You haven't
A cup
had
of
that?
tea, a cup of tea and rum.
Yum.
No,
Because
really.
because I don't put milk or sugar in my tea.
Yeah.
So the rum gives it a little bit of sweetness. Yeah.
I can add it, take away the sugar,
Yeah, that's all good.
but yeah, but
Yes.
Brits normally do milk, so
No.
maybe he
Bleh.
didn't put milk in it. But yeah, a bit of a little bit of something like it. Just warm you up, sir.
Tea and
Like that,
rum,
baby.
tea and
Tea and rum.
bourbon. Tea and bourbon's good too.
Yeah, can't have that on a naval ship, bourbon. God. But yeah, and again, they're just getting. It's just getting on. It's like that. They get through the first cruel sea moment, I suppose you want to call it. And I like it because now we get a bit more interaction of Lockhart and Ericsson. Is they kind of again Lockhart is younger, but he kind of likes him more than he does Bennett. He can actually have a conversation with him.
Yeah.
So yeah, and Lockhart hasn't got anybody, so he's
a nice
everybody
guy.
else
Bennett's not.
He's like literally and he's everybody else is on leave, and I've stayed behind. I had nothing else to do, so I took the officer's watch. So yeah, he's a bit respected, but he's also got a little bit of not ambition. He understands his duty. With this, well, what are you doing on your time off? I'm going to learn first aid because we don't have a ship's medic.
Comes in handy. Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, and he's like, oh, and even like, oh, that's a good idea. I've heard that we might need one. Yeah, I think that would be one of the first things you might need on any military.
Yeah, that surprises me. There's not one, but
yeah, even like one of the rates you would have thought would have might be you. You're going to learn first aid. Come here. What's first aid? But yeah, I do like their interactions, and even like these three, the other officers, like they've got their little quirky little trio going on because they're not like Bennett. But this is where again we find out about Moreau's wife, because she's in the paper. So it's like that. So because she's got a new play coming out. So yeah, and it was saying comes back drunk, but yeah, you can see from Morrow he's got a disdain about her lifestyle. Let's say that he doesn't like to talk about it that much. There's something a bit bitter about the situation. What we get on a bit later, but yeah, was saying bit drunk, comes back, but. Yeah, it's again we're just getting to know it until I don't know at this bit they played a trick on him, didn't they? I can't remember like that, but he Bennett kind of falls really ill whilst he's eating dinner, and it turns out a bit later he really has to go off, but we've lost Sandy. Has to go off because he gets an ulcer. So yeah, it's not good for him, let's say that. But everybody else is like, well, they're all laughing and joking, having a things. Even the captain Ericsson, he kind of knows. Well, good riddance in a way. Like that. It's a bit brutal. But we get the war room back on shore. That's it. Maybe Sandy will come back. Maybe we've had an electricity. Lost power. There we go. We've lost power. Dun, dun, dun. Well, I'll hold the fort. There we go. Power lost. There we go. But again, so we get Ericsson getting his first figs down. Now they've got their orders for the Gibraltar run. So they're off. But of course, we're getting now the message that Bennett won't be coming back. That he's ulcers ruptured, and he's got to have some time off, so they need to find a replacement, but also up it. So he chooses Lockhart. Really, again, he gets kind of promoted up. One, Ericsson respects kind of what he's doing, but also due to time. Due to time in service, so that's it. So he gets his promotion unwillingly, but they're off onto the Gibraltar run. What bloody hell, that was a dangerous run if anyone knows where it is. So yeah, but we get our first kind of starting our first contacts with U-boats, and we get in the background, we get some of the convoys actually blown up, just in difference, on fire. So now they're worried. They know they're in that, and I think this is where we also get in the movie. They keep on getting messages from headquarters of how many there are in there. And I think it's like there's 5 and it's 7, and we're like, well, we're popular tonight. So yeah, it's they've got these indications of there's a swarm, I suppose, of U-boats in the water, not just getting them, but the thing. So they're off to trying to protect them. Why we get survivors in the water. So everybody's trying to help whoever they can. We got people tossed overboard, and I think we get their first ones are a merchant ship. So we get some bunch of Norwegians, I think it is the first lot, but we get some deaths, and it's mostly because of, well, we say that they were swimming and in the black tar, in the oil. So even Lockhart is trying to do his best, but he's like, we got 2 dead so far, and like that. So he's kind of having a bit of triage. Whilst he can, he's been up all night trying to help all the dear fellows, but it's actually his time on top to do, I'm guessing, a lookout. But Ericsson's like, no, you go and get some sleep. I'll take your one until Ferriby is ready and up. So they got some understanding again. They're tired, but we got a job, and you've been doing a job all night. So we get things. But I like we start to find now their relationship, their relationship between them, kind of their bond of like, we're here for war. Even this point where Ericsson kind of like, I think this is they start to dawn on them that this is going to be a kind of a long war. It's going to be what they kind of expected. So now they're in the grass for a long run, let's say that. So they kind of the understanding that we might be here a while, but we get we get the destruction of ships in the background. We get the deaths of everybody else. Like we got captured, dragged out of the water of the cruel sea. But we go, it's just carrying on. Now we get back to the shore. So maybe that was maybe that's not the Gibraltar run. Maybe I got that wrong, but I can't. Hopefully Sandy might correct me. But we get back into the shore, and we get this is Tallow and Watts, who kind of they're good friends, and they're going to Tallow's. I'm guessing this is where he lives, where they've docked, and we find, I forgot her name. I can't remember her name. I'm gonna find it. Oh, she's just known as Tallow's sister. There you go. They didn't even bother giving her a name. There you go. That's why I couldn't remember, because she doesn't have a name. But so she's pinned down with him, I suppose, since her husband's died. And it's kind of nice to imagine. I didn't know you would come in, and I brought a friend. Even though go into the front room. The kitchen's not for eyes at the moment. It's a bit of a mess, but So yeah, they get a bit of things. They get little interactions. Watts and her kind of have a bit of a smooth moment, I suppose you call it like that. They kind of like each other at a first instance, and yeah, it's more of a let's go and get some food. Let's get a beer out, and then yeah, it's just a nice little interaction, a little bit of a like family time. Powers up now, wee Sandy back soon. And then yeah, we get the next run. Maybe this is the Gibraltar run, but we gain they're on just on for the convoy. Again, it's I say a lot of the scenes on this movie is all kind of all the same. They're like the progression with the convoy, but it's all about the interaction with the ship in the sea and with the men. It's so well dialogued together. You get the bond moments between mostly at the start with Erickson and Lockhart and the other officers interjecting, and even with Tallow and Watts coming in and now again. But again, it's this bit is it's just showing how things because they get a plane spotted. We get some commentary off this one. It is that he's out of range, but he's just circling. So he's literally circling the convoy constantly and then just pinpointing all their positions so the U-boat can just converge. And it's like that. We can't do anything. We just got to keep going. And yeah, he can just literally do whatever he wants. So it's literally, he's absolutely screwed. But then we get the first dreaded night of, they're now nighttime, the best time for U-boats. And then we get, everybody's in a bit of peril. You know, everybody's getting hit. And then we get some, this is where I think it's a bit strange because what I said earlier is we get some non-stock footage. And then this bit, we get stock footage. So we get really weird. It's blatantly obvious. That is not sharp as what we just saw. So yeah, we get some now bringing over survivors, but then we get on a ship again. It's a bit odd. I don't get it. But now we get they pulled over. And this is where Lockhart finds a woman among the dead, and then we get our kind of everybody's just doing their duty. You know, Lockhart is repairing everybody's there, and I think this might be the Polish and Norwegians coming on that I find. But again, this is the bit where we get when he gets the signals of things. Hey, Sandy. Oh, can we hear? Can we hear you?
So sorry about that.
That's okay.
We had just rain today. It's not even icy or snowy, and then power had gone out this morning, and it just went out. So it's back now. If it happens again, I will. I was trying to shift over to my phone. I could at least listen to you on my phone, but so sorry about that. But I've been following along, so I know exactly where you are.
That's okay. There we go. So they're kind of more out getting survivors at the moment than actually anything else. I mean, let me just move that over there. And I can't remember. It's the first ones with Norwegian with the woman, or is it Norwegian and Polish nets? I can't remember. But I was trying to say like where we get more stock footage earlier, and now we kind of get more modeling. It's a bit odd.
The modeling, the trouble with the modeling is always the water, right? The scale of the water, you're going to be able to tell because it looks like little splashes versus huge waves when you're modeling the
there's one bit it's really, really bad. I think that's when they later on, but this is where they really can't do anything. They're being destroyed. They're not getting the pings of the sonars. Literally, they're not getting it. They're just sitting there watching everything else kind of around them get destroyed. It's like one after the other. And things. But this is where we get, this is the Norwegians, I think, and the Poles when they rescue, and these literally stopped. Let's get them on board. And now we're sitting ducks. So yeah, they've stopped everything. They're just rescuing people, and it's like get a hurry on, and everybody's a bit of a worry on, but they do the right thing. But yeah, it's again we just kind of I like these ones because we it's the dialogue between the interaction between the officers. I think is really so well written. These scenes,
It is. It's very
like
natural.
yeah, it's like it just makes you feel. It feels what's the best way? It feels like a normal situation
Yep.
that you would be in. There's other movies, well, especially war movies, where they up the game, I suppose, like that to make it more dramatic. But this one is it feels like, oh, that's what happened. I know it's not a
Yeah,
true
it does.
story, but it makes you like, huh? And like again, that's I suppose good for the author and because it's mostly word to word. So like that, what they actually can find like these little moments in the film with each other. So it's just showing the experience of one the author to this is what we talk like, this is what we did, and also the actors, I suppose some of them as well. They would have their own experiences to just deliver it in a way that you go, it's just how normal how people were talking.
It is. It's
So
very natural. And going back to what you carried on when I lost power here, and you were talking about the Stanley Baker character Bennett and his, his tummy troubles or whatever. You know, in the military, you find the stories of, sometimes the men kind of rally around each other because they've got a really terrible leader or colleague or someone that they have to kind of gang up against in a, not in a bad way, but kind of you have to have someone that you're rooting against, and it kind of brings the team together. And sometimes it's a little fun, and sometimes it's little practical. All those things happened. All
mm,
those things happened in real life, and some films, even you know portraying the more recent wars. Yeah, their war is terrible, but there has to be that balance of these natural scenes and a little bit of levity and a little bit of chuckling and having a drink, whatever it is, to make it realistic. And I think the writer and the director and the person who wrote the screenplay did a really great job
mm,
at keeping that tone from the book.
yeah, especially because like with Bennett, he's the one you don't like, like because he's just a bit of
Yeah,
a snob. So
common
he's
enemy, right?
yeah, and but you feel like in that. So when he does get out, you're like, oh, good, we get somebody else now, and especially it gets to Lockhart getting promoted. So yeah, again, mostly just because of time. But yeah, it's good. But again, they're like they're stuck together. They've now found a bond. A lot of them are now they're friends. Just because of, one the situation they probably would have never met outside of the Navy in real life, like before the war. But they kind of joking around, having a bit of fun, whilst we've still got the Battle of the Atlantic going on. So we get some
Did
more
they show
again.
the burials at sea yet?
Yes,
Did that happen?
yes, yes.
Because I thought that was well done, and
Mm.
I'm wondering if that was real footage or not. I
It's
hope
just seemed too
not.
crisp. It seemed too crisp.
Yeah, and it
Like I
also
say,
seems, I don't know, just slightly, I don't know, for that to be real footage,
mm,
but that is exactly, what would have happened. And, there's a there's a song by a local band that I like, kind of about, experiences in war throughout the different wars in our history. And it's kind of like a poem, and one of the parts is, holding the canvas bags over the railing with the ship still sailing out of our hands into the swallowing sea. And I love that line, and I love that part of the song, and
mm,
I thought it was really well done in the film. You got the flags, and you knew what was happening in that scene. So hopefully that was a recreation. If it was real, then also
mm.
well done.
Yeah, I think wonder who the first ones did, and it's like it makes sense. I know, like they do it a bit more, kind of a bit more respectful, but it kind of makes sense just for hygiene. You don't want dead bodies on a confined ship.
You have to. Yeah,
You would
it
like
just.
where you wouldn't have a morgue. You don't want like a room.
Yep.
This is a morgue room, just in case unfortunately, where are we going to put them? Yeah, burial seat. It's going to
Yep.
be a thing now. Yeah, you got nowhere else. It practical, yeah, unfortunately, but yeah, you don't want to be going into battle and then you got like piles of your mates as well.
No, true.
Next door to you. But yeah, this is again, it's what we get. This kind of little bit in the movie things is they just can't get the ping from the U-boat. Like they just seeing ships, the convoys getting picked off. That's it. But then finally we get our first bing bong, I suppose. And yeah, it's let's get into position. And unfortunately, whilst in the water is also survivors. So now it's very a commander's issue realization, tough decision.
Had to be.
So he's got two. I think he's seen two men in the water, but right in front where they are, the ping is for the U-boat. So he's got to make the decision. I like this because it's they hold on, but he's the one is we've got to destroy the U-boat. So he's giving his orders of like go ahead. And yeah, it's quite dramatic, but they get it. Is no, we've got to launch. So we get that, and of course, whilst he does it, he doesn't hit anything. So yeah, it's he gets the explosion. The men are dead. So we're in this is Gibraltar. So we're in the Gibraltar run. Oh, Sandy's gone again. I guess her power's gone again. And that's it. But this is where we get a little bit of the man, I suppose, of Ericsson, of him power's flickering. Okay. Where we get Ericsson down his sorrows with some gin and a lot. So he's had to make the call, get the U-boat, didn't get the U-boat, but he got out of things. The men were in the way. So he had to take him out to take the U-boat out. But we get this kind of this moment. Are you thinking about the men had killed the Norwegian captain? Yes, sorry, I was reading that. That's what we were going to have to see. Yes, sorry, reading the quote as I was about to say the quote. So we get drinking his sorrows, and Sandy's back.
This
He's flickering in
really annoying. This is so annoying. I do apologize. Our power is now like going to brown out to blackout. If it happens again, I'm just going to join on my phone, and we'll have to pray for good audio. That's all I can say.
That's fine. It wasn't that thing, but we get. So this is where, Ericsson's made the decision. He's now drinking a lot of gin down in his sorrows, and then we get this Norwegian captain kind of come in, who he's rescued. They managed to find some clothes. I think there's a few of them. I think, and a French captain, and he's like that. And they're just there. They say, we want to shake the hand of the man who saved us. And they kind of think, it's you kind of drinking your sorrows for the men that you had to kill in the water. And it could have been a bit more. You had to kill him. And he's kind of like it's the right decision. It was, and he kind of gets in points, but it's not helping Ericsson. He understands that he still doesn't like it, and he's still gonna drown his sorrows with a lot of gin. And even the Norwegian captain says, something like it helps. The gin will help, but it will never make you forget or something. But it's things. But it's they have their gin, and then we get back in things. He's a little bit drunk, worse for wears. This is where we get again the bond especially between Lockhart and him starting to develop, because he's number one really now. But he's even to this point, I can tell you, but I can't. Of course, he's number one to confide in, I suppose, like that. And we get
Yeah.
that, I suppose, like that in, a lot of I mean, they got reference Star Trek. Yeah, it's the number one they confide in. Something's going wrong. I can't
Well, when
talk
you're
to
the
any else
leader, you don't
officers.
have anyone else.
Yeah.
There's no,
Mm.
there's no one above you. If you're the captain, you're,
Yeah.
You've got to have someone to talk to.
So yeah, he's got a little bit drunk, and he's just like, it's that moment I had to do it, and he knows he had to do it, and he's like that for that a mystery U-boat out there. He knows it was the right thing, but it's still painful that he had to kill the allies, I suppose, like that. So yeah, he's a bit distraughted, and but Lockhart comforts him very kindly, but like very respectively for his rank and the duty that he's performed, and I like it. But like, yeah, it's a kind of having their very good moment of like showing their the humanity of them both, in a very drunken moment.
It's a brotherhood too.
Yes. Well, yeah, I think it's the point.
Experience.
I think Lockhart realizes, well, if it was in the other way around, he would have made the call as well. I think that's it comes across like, it was the right call. It's hurtful, but it was still the right call. And that's it. But yeah, he's Gus gets told, get you into bed. You're gonna have a hangover in the morning. That's it. But it's let's get you back. And it just shows that I think that having him get drunk, I think it's fitting. It's because I think if he never had that moment where he was like, I just want to black it out. I just want to drown myself. It would have made him not feel human.
That he wasn't feeling guilty.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree.
So I think it's a very short scene, but I think it shows Erickson as, him as a man, especially like that, is like, I've got, I might be a commander, but I can still bloody hurt. And he's like that. And and all he can do is get really at that point. He's probably got, when the Norwegian officer comes in, the captain, he's probably actually like it because he doesn't have to drink alone for a moment. Because he can't show anybody else. He's had the clothes, everything like that. It's only the captain, can come in, really. So he's got these captains come in that he's rescued, who probably, they understand, command. And then, when Lockhart is probably the only person can put him to bed as well.
Probably,
like that, so,
I mean, unlike Picard, now we're talking about Picard, but Picard was always the leader, always like the perfect example of a leader, and he would not have allowed himself, to get into that situation. But in this situation, you had the guy up on the, I don't know, he's up on the bridge or wherever, and he said murderer.
Yes, one of the ranks. Then I forgot about that.
Yeah, that surprised me a little bit, because you would think the men aboard ship who have been in peril now would realize it. It's not an easy decision. It's et cetera, et cetera. But would you call your captain a murderer? I don't think so. That's the one piece I didn't really buy. I don't know why. I didn't think that was I don't think that would happen, but lended some color and a little more guilt, I guess, to the situation.
Yeah. But we get back to our cat and mouse game. Them on a convoy trying to find one U-boats, and then unfortunately, whilst they're trying to do that, is the Watts comes up and is like, something's broken.
We've got a little problem.
We've got a little problem.
Erickson, we have a problem.
Yeah, and it's like, what do we do? I need you to stop. It's like the worst thing. What?
The worst thing you can do when there's a sub out there.
And they don't know what's wrong. So we need to get there. And again, I like this. It's great. I love this scene. It's one thing, because everybody's been told, get on deck, get your life rings on. The only people below are the sonar operators and the engineers, trying to fix something where everybody has got to be as quiet as anything, because the U-boats will hear you. And then they've got to use these big mallets and hammers to fix this whatever it is on that, and everybody else is
It's the turbine, right? I mean, it
what?
looks like
Yeah,
it's
something.
the whole thing turning the, turning the
Mm.
end or turning
But
the
yeah,
propellers, and
mm. But
yeah, there's
again,
no way
it's
to be quiet doing that.
yeah.
There's
But
just
I
not.
like it because they got the wrenches and all that out and all that. And again, they
Full of
don't
grease.
and they don't have to be over technical to know that it's one of the main components to make the
Yep.
ship go. You don't need to know what it is. Again, it's clever writing. It's just like we just need to put him in the
dilithium
situation.
crystals. Nope,
No,
it's all
no. It's just you need
makes
to know
sense.
this. It's the situation that is there's a problem, and I love that. It's the situation. Like they're getting into the oil. We've got to make noise to get it in and fix it. It's great, and it's just the moment of like we're getting signals from another ship like we need to go. We like they've probably held off as
Good
much
luck
as
to you.
and it is literally God bless you, good luck, isn't it? I think he gives a Shakespeare quote, doesn't he?
Yeah, it was something. Oh, I forget
Yeah.
what it was, but yeah, it was something about good night, sweet lady, or something like that. It was it was kind of very doom and gloom, but they had to skedaddle.
But yeah, it's literally we're waiting, and I love that because it's just I love this. I don't know why, and I brought it up. That is when they just go beep. They're like waiting for that. We get the radar, and
It's very simple.
I love this shot of like great art shot of the pencil,
and the
it's
little
just
clink.
and everything is just so, and it's just showing how silent everybody's got to be, and the pencil rolls and goes dink, and it's so loud, and they made it just sound so. I think this shot was absolutely brilliant. I absolutely adored this shot. I was like, that is just good. It just shows you that director and cinematography went, this is where you just need to add that little moment. It's literally less than 5 seconds, and it just gives you the atmosphere. It just gives you the atmosphere. It's great. But yeah, everybody on deck, and somebody drops something, and then if you do that again, literally holst you up. So yeah, he's made the most, and everybody's just waiting. And of course, the only way they can now fix it is to make a hell of a noise. And now they're putting it back in with this bloody massive wrench and a like boom, boom,
big mallet.
Yeah, and I love it because they got that, and it's even where he sends Moral down there. He's like, "Can you tell him to kind of just be a little bit quieter?" Like literally, and I love it. And it's great because when he goes even down there, and he's like, "Hi, Hey, gentlemen, is there any chance?
Just a wee bit quieter.
Yeah, and he goes, "Oh, can you hear it?" Everybody can hear it like that. It's like that. And he's like, "Well, if we don't get sunk by a U-boat now, we're never gonna get sunk." It's like that, and they're like, and again, I think it comes across from Rory. He's like, "Can you promise me that?" It's like that because he says something like, I think we might have skipped it when about the your grandkids. Can you promise me that? He's always a bit more pragmatic of like, yeah, you don't say it if you don't, it's just off the cuff. But I do like this again. It's like we're trying our hardest, to get it done, and
they got to get them underway though. They have to do what they got to do to move that ship.
And it's like, and he goes, "Let's go." And we
Give
finally get into morning. Get the engines up, get everything going, and again, it's again they got the ping now, but they're back on the go. But now we've got another ping, so it's again,
I like it
cat and
because
mouse.
They've seen the destruction that this U-boat caused, or a different one. We don't know if it's the same one. And now they're on a mission. Now they see this little abnormality in the radar to the stern of the convoy, and they know what they need to do. Like, he's on it. He's on a mission. We're going to do this.
Yeah, mostly as well. I think this point he's I'm going to get revenge for the people.
It's revenge.
Again, it's a revenge.
A little bit of the white whale.
Yeah, I didn't sink you that time, but I'm going to sink you now. So I'm going to actually and you can tell it because he gets a bit angry with his men at this point, doesn't he? Like he's like, no, that's what I'm doing, and like that, and he's a bit stern to a few of them, but yeah, it's let's get a bit further, and I think they pop up, don't they? So yeah, it's great. It's clever again, and I'm going to say that on this movie is where they build tension to make you feel like you're there within the movie, and it's great because it's a black and white. And I always say that it's like you watch it and you feel like, oh, it's building up, but it's not over dramatic, but it's building. You feel like it's you're traveling there with them throughout the movie, and they're building it up, the tension to make you feel that without having to go, we're going to go over the top and make it really like bombastic and all that. It's just subtly done. Yeah.
And because they've built up the characters, you care
Mm.
about the characters.
Yeah.
And I think where war films really fail is not in the special effects and not in the dramatization of the battles. It's where you don't give a hoot about the characters.
Mm.
And if you because then now you're invested, and now a scene, scenes like this where you're not looking at different scenery, you're looking at the ocean over and over and over again. You're looking at the ocean. They're not going anyplace different. They're on the ocean or on a sea. But because you have, learned about these characters and you care, the story is much more interesting.
That's it, yeah. And then when the interaction comes, like this one is where we think we've got them, I need to shoot quickly, and it's just we're missing, and they're trying to, get him in before he goes down, but unfortunately, it's go down, and it's like every time this operator's like, I can't find him. It's like that turning the wheel. I can't find him. I'm not gonna be. Oh, got him. I've got him. I think I've got him. And he's like that, and he's just this. Yeah, and I think it's funny. Like this guy, he's underrated in the movie because he doesn't have any lines really, except for we found him. But he's probably the important person on this ship because he directs when he hears it. I'm in command. I will tell you where to go. You've got to make the decision, but I'm telling you he's there. You've got to go there. So yeah, he's in war. You got to think like that, and it's this back and forth, the cat and the mouse of like, getting the barrels, the death charges, and ready, and they're just hoping. That one explosion, they're all waiting to see debris, oil.
Some debris or something fly out.
Something,
Can I surprise you about the actor who's playing the signalman? He was in Zulu as well.
Oh, was it? I'm guessing it was like that. British actors. There you go.
He was in Zulu as well, and he was
I'm going to have to go down.
Howarth.
There might be was there a very young Michael Caine?
Yeah, uncredited maybe. Could have been. Uncredited. Yep.
But it's again, this is where they're literally on the hunt for this U-boat. They're literally hoping that it's there, and then they finally get a little bit of oil,
the debris,
and the debris, and it's like, oh, finally we've actually hit one. And it's just that sign of everybody cheers because they've been the North Sea one didn't get anyone, and then finally after the Gibraltar run they finally got one after being sitting ducks. We got one, and they're like, the I think it's the cheers off the deck is a bit of relief as well. Finally one. We've saved people, but we got one. And that's it. And we find out later as well, they don't get many.
No,
I'm guessing that was
two.
There was too many U-boats, and like that. It was just they were too well equipped to evade most of convoys. But it's an important moment for the crew. It's a bit of morale boosting because we can get one. This ship can actually do what it's supposed to do. So we get the rates. Everybody's a little bit of cheering, and Ericsson's again. He's got his wow. He's a bit of relief. He's done it. So again, we get back into port, and we get it's clever when they get their R&R, their shore leave. To learn more about the individual. So we get again the interactions with the officers. Again, it's just right. Everything about the interactions, they just feel normal. And like even when we get Moreau's going back and he's having a bit of laughing, joking about things. You know, this bit is we're taking the mickey, and it would be you would do is I can't remember the guy's on the left name. He's
Farabee?
no, that was the other
that-
one. This is the replacement.
This is the yeah.
Yeah, and he's in the ops room or a comms room. There's a pretty new Wren, and all the everybody's got their eyes on her. Sorry, and then Lockard's like, "What are you talking about?" And Moral's like, "Well, you know, she's a bit of a looker." And he's like, "Well, I have to," and then Lockard's like, "Well, I have to go there anyway." You know, it's like I've got to do some comms or something there, and he's like, "Don't be silly." And so yeah, he's off to the ops room, and of course he's taken back by what is her name? Oh, what's her name?
Her name is brother, hang on. It is Julia.
Julia.
Or Julie.
Yeah.
Julie.
Is because she's a bit of a looker. And I love these because I think we even had it in Sink the Bismarck. They were like, we need a woman. We need one. At
Has
least
to be
in this,
one woman in
Yeah, there's like in
diversity
this, like,
quota for the
yeah,
1950s.
it literally was. It was, isn't
Yeah.
it? It was like going to seem like I know this is male driven. It's going to be 99% male. You know, we just need one because even like Tallard's Tallwell sister, she has one scene really.
Yeah.
And but yeah, it's this, and he wants to know the mapping.
He wants to
of
see the
something.
map, the plot.
Yeah.
He wants to see
Yeah.
the plot.
And she's like, "You can't. It's confidential." It's like, and he's like, "But I'm on the
I was there.
the compass
Yeah.
the compass rose. We sunk a U-boat." And she's like, "Well, that might we can maybe let you have a look." But he's clever about it. He's like, "I want to see the activity, see if there's," and I think he's clever navally because he wants to see, is there a pattern? We're doing this. We're going to do the now the Russian one. I just want to see if there's a pattern. See if there's like something I can learn. It's clever. It's clever from him.
Yeah, I
but
think
he's
so.
also, but he's lucky enough. He's also heard there's a pretty lady to have a look at as well. So yeah, he's also given a bit of charm her way. But yeah, and now we get because they sunk a U-boat, they are going to have a little celebration, a little bit of a little bit of a party.
I thought this
here we
was
go.
just so funny. This is so
Yeah.
British. This is so British upper class that they're going to
yeah.
have a party. Not a hey, let's get a few cases of beer and some burgers, because that's
yeah.
I think what we would do here to celebrate. It would be, beer and food, because the amount of drinking on these British ships, it's just not the same in the American military it just surprising. But yeah,
That's
it would
because
be
Americans can't handle their drink.
no, it's true. It would be beer and burgers over here. It wouldn't be a
Oh.
formal drink where you would invite the ladies and have, be serving gin on a
yes, we would.
tray.
Yes.
No.
Well,
And
I've been to one of those.
sherry. There would
They are
probably
quite
be
funny.
some sherry.
Yes. I don't get that. And I'm like, why would I want to drink sherry? It's sherry or
Sherry's
port,
awful.
and it depends what the situation is. And I'm like, I don't like either of those drinks. I'm like, they're horrid.
Is it
Like that.
because I don't know how sweets were back in the day. Like was sugar
don't
just such a a
I
hot
don't know.
commodity that your drinks had to be sicky sweet? Maybe.
I don't know.
But sherry
It's
is awful. It is
yeah.
god
Port,
awful
Yeah,
sweet.
port and sherry is just like, oh no.
Port is like syrup.
Yeah,
just
it's not
bleh.
nice. No. But yes.
So sorry to all the oldies
sorry.
in the chat who
Yeah.
like port and sherry.
There you
I'm
go.
so- although
Daryl's
as
like,
I get
know,
older-
Daryl. There we go. Sorry,
Sorry, Daryl.
30,000 U-boat soldiers killed. I'm guessing it's supposed to be 8,000
Wow.
or 783 submarines lost, and 47 warships lost.
Wow.
So that's it. I'm guessing that's on the German side. So yeah, it's the numbers. Yeah, it's a thing. That's why it was out to get them. But like yes, yeah, it's let's what's the list? And they take the Mickey out of Lockhart a little bit. Again, it's a little bit of banter and it's a bit of fun because he's put her name on the list, and he's like, "Who's this? Lieutenant such and such? Oh, she's the new Wren from Ops. Everybody's after her." Again, it's just a little bit like they know. Let's just wind him up a little bit, and yeah, and I can't remember the He's like, "Well, you'll be lucky to know she's not taken her eye to me." So yes, so do that. But yes, again, it's a good old officers get together. Every rank does it. Like we have like the non-commissioned, and you get like sergeants. They do their one, then the officers, and then the ranks go up, and the posher the drinks and the caviar,
The fancy foods. Yes.
the fancy foods. Yeah,
The little
what canapes?
Canapes.
And then it gets to around about a little later, and then everybody's a bit sloshy. Let's say that they a lot of lisping. Hello, how are you? But yeah, and then this is everybody's around the new Wren. They're liking it, and of course, yeah,
and he doesn't like it. Lockhart's
yeah.
trying to keep an eye on her, but everybody else is swarming around her.
But everybody's like also knowing that they know he likes her. So they're like, well, we're swarming, and that's like taking the mickey, and like, yeah, he's always just trying to get there. I love it, and they're like, he can't, but yeah, he finally gets a little bit of a moment, and I love it because he's awkwardly polite, near enough to not get a date with her, really. Yeah, so he's like, yeah, it's well, I don't know. Like, I would ask you, and I wouldn't ask you. You know, I don't want to be impolite in the situation. And it's really her going, just kind of bloody ask me when you're back.
Seriously, she's very casual. Yep.
Yeah, I can't. We like each other. Yeah, next time you're here, we can go that. But yeah, it's off. But now this is now the. Is it now we're going?
Now we're going.
We have a little bit. Are we going back? I can't remember now. This is where. Yeah. Oh no, this is where we're back at sea. But this is where Watts tells Tallow that he's been in contact with his sister, and they have a kind of romantic agreement, I suppose, like that. Nothing's happened, but I kind of want to marry her. That's it. And yeah, so he's trying to. The only problem is she's worried about Tallow. Is like, yeah, he's never really looked after himself. So
and he's happy for them.
Yeah.
He's happy for them.
Yeah. And he's like, yeah, well, but he's nervous, Watts. I like it. And he's like, that moment, he's like, yes, great. And he's like, I'll dance at your wedding. Oh. And he's like, they're both like happy, get back. And of course, yeah, we're back at sea. And I think this is where, we go then back to shore for a little bit. I don't know why they go back that quick, but they do, don't they? They're maybe in the book.
I think they're probably in. I was thinking they were maybe in one part of Britain and then sailing to the other part before heading to Russia. Yeah. So, and sadly, as they're kind of approaching the coast where they were going to dock, they see smoke. And then they hear a report that whatever town this is has been hit pretty hard.
I think this is Fife. I think this is when
this
is in Scotland. I think it is. So I think it was Fife and like that.
Okay,
so it would be
heading up
an industrial, navals there. But there's points, and everybody forgets it's when we were getting bombed. If you got spare ones and you're going over any landmark, you're going to drop them. So that's what they used to do. Like, just drop them. So strategic,
load,
and just get rid of the load. So they get back, and this must have been always how many people coming back, especially servicemen. You've been out at sea or been army abroad and all that, then having to come back to find this, and it's his home is gone.
Direct hit.
Yep. And he goes, just stands there, and he manages to track down the wardens, and having a cup of tea, and they're like, "Oh, the Navy's here, sit up." And then he realizes afterward, "Oh, you're Tallow." And he's like, "Yeah, number whatever it is," and they go very quiet very quickly. And he's like, "Well, I'm gonna get my notepad out or like clipboard," and then there was a direct hit. One casualty, and then he goes, and he's like, "Was she dead?" Yeah, but then the wardens love fair play. He tries to issued like the blow not too hard, because
Yeah.
Watts has not said anything. Watts, he's great
Yeah.
acting by this guy,
Just his
because he
face.
looks like he's he's dying inside. He's like, this is the woman, like, I was going to marry, and yeah, she's died completely. And the bravo's like, keep on asking kind of simple questions, being very polite, and he's like, yeah, it would have been over. She wouldn't have known a thing. Direct hit. It's just, yeah,
It's
it's
that
just the,
very British
mm,
stiff upper lip in this
mm,
scene
yes,
because, you know, here, you know, with the perspective of history today, we can't compare people who grew up here during the war versus obviously being in Britain because here we were so isolated, you know, except for Pearl Harbor. Let's just put that to the side, important as it is. But, you know, the folks here were waiting for news of their loved ones. They weren't um, directly in fear of being the victims of a bomb themselves. You know, there were air raid drills and all kinds of things, but it didn't really happen. Um, but there, you know, there's just so much admiration um, for, you know, British people who not only lived through this, but then would get up the next day. I hate to use the cliche, keep calm and carry on, but would get up the next day
yeah,
and go to work and climb over the rubble
mm,
or, you know, at night sleep in the tube stations and then get up the next morning and send their kids to school. And I think Daryl put a comment about some of the duties that the women had during the war. Also, the Girl Scouts, or you call them the Girl Guides, the Girl Guides were used as messengers. You know, little Girl Scouts doing their duty to learn how to cook and sew were also carrying messages between the buildings in the war ministry and the home office and all that sort of stuff. So just, you know, everyone just knuckling down and doing their duty is certainly something to
yeah,
admire in history.
yeah. It's like that. Yeah, I know there's German things officers. Um, memoirs are like, we didn't know that we couldn't break their morale, and I was like that. But it is like the
Yep.
Blitz, if anybody like, is a very strategic thing by the British to bomb Germany, so the RAF would have more time to rebuild their airfields, and that's
Airfields.
what it
Yep.
was. It's literally, oh, we need time, so we need to divert it like that. And
Yeah.
the Germans took the bait. It's quite a strange thing of history. It's literally, yeah, we need the RAF back, but we need time to do it because they're just bombing our airfields, and we would only have 4 weeks or whatever it was left. So yeah, let's divert it to London, yeah, and see if the Germans take the bait, and they did. Yeah, unfortunately, yeah, a lot of civilian lives lost, but it kind of won the battle over the skies of Britain for us, unfortunately. So yeah, it's one of those hard decisions, especially like we see
Very hard
Ericsson
decision.
makes. Yeah,
And another example of how important patriotism is. And you know, you can't have morale during wartime without patriotism. And I think today we we downplay and we almost demonize patriotism,
mm,
and especially in the United States right now. But how important patriotism was to keeping it wasn't just to keep your country alive. Your country was the key to the rest of the world. You know, we came to help Britain because Britain had to be saved. Um, and otherwise, you know, it would be bad for the entire world, not just for Europe and not just for the United Kingdom. So, um, thank you to all of you. Thank you to all of you for your grit and determination and for keeping calm and carrying on. It's such a great battle.
the
It's such a
greatest
great story.
generation.
The greatest generation, no doubt.
Hmm.
Not
Yeah.
even close. Not even
Hmm.
close. Definitely.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah, but yeah, I love this bit. It again. It gives a bit of a again. Yeah, it's that we've got a duty. I've just lost my sister. You've lost your fiance, I suppose. It's literally, but we got to carry on. We've got to carry on. It's good. So yeah,
As I
I
said,
feel
when
sorry for
was the
them.
funeral? 2 days ago. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, too. Yeah, and it was nice.
It was nice.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, that's it. And yeah, it's and then yeah, they just off we go, and then we get our poor Moral, um, with his we find his little starlet, and he's been on leave, David Wings, and she's can't spend the last day or night with him is because she's off to see a producer or director that might have a role for her in his new play. So she's knocking him on the head, not even invited him because she's got to go and meet this director. And again, you can see there's no real love between them, I suppose. Like
No,
that,
no.
he's trying his best to have like a civil thing, and she's so dismissive, and like really, she's like, even when he's like, "Oh, I've got to go," then I'll see you, and she's very oh yes, just when you come back, just give me word. She's like, I'll see you next time, dear. So yeah, he's off, and it's even when she like the kiss goodbye. It's just a little kiss on the cheek. He might go off. He's going back to war, and she's just little kiss on the cheek, little embrace. Off she goes without really a goodbye, and like he's a bit just kind of lost in. Oh, is that all kind
She
of all
doesn't
I get? You
care. Yeah,
might
she
not see
doesn't
me
care.
again, and of
Nope.
course, while she's gone, the
The
phone
phone
rings,
rings.
and and it's a very busy nightclub, I'm guessing, like that, where we get this gentleman on the other end. Has that idiot gone yet? Kind of like
Well,
that.
yeah, when are
That's
you gonna get away from your husband and get over
yeah,
here? It's like, oh,
and he's like that, and so it's blatantly, she's gone off to just be with her pals, or another fellow. Blatantly, you kind of get the direct kind of thing that she's more than likely playing away from home. And he's just a bit distraught, and he's packs his bag and bye then, and then we get
but it's another
but
story that
yeah
is pretty common, and I
hmm
think the writer, Nicholas Montserrat, was trying to show kind of the different experiences that each of these,
yes
that men would have, serving during the war. You'd have some that would lose loved ones at home, like, both Watts and Tallow did. You would have ones whose girlfriends slash wives decided to send a Dear John letter and say, so sorry, but I found someone new.
hmm
Um, and then you'd find others that
yeah
would build and find new relationships. And I think it's great that he gave us that variety of just the normal experiences
because we do
in these characters.
we have like Erickson single, he's a Navy man, true and true. That's his marriage. And then you get Tallow, Watts, they've lost their sister and love. And then you get Moral's relationship breakdown. But in that you get Lockhart, who's kind of
Yay.
like the number one hero, or that the likable chap is. He's found somebody, and he's like so it's a nice moment to have between these two in the depths of the war. At least they're building something. When a relationship shouldn't happen, I suppose, if you think about it in that time. But it's great that people can still look beyond we're at war and look towards we can make something together.
Yeah.
We can look beyond that. So
Life can
it's
go on.
yes. So it's a nice little a little, and I'm going to say little, it's a nice little romance story within the plot to make you go, that's nice.
Yeah.
And again, well written, because but he's kind of telling her he's off, they're off again, and again it's just her going, well, come on, get it up, and you kind of when you come back, you got to. I think she wants a ring on her finger very quickly, isn't it?
But she also says, I know where you're going.
Yes, that's it. And then
She
so we get
says,
that.
when she says good luck to him or
Mm,
something to that effect, and he says, oh, why so something to that effect, and she says,
yeah,
because I know where
because
you're
I know where
going.
you're going. Yeah, this must have been a horrible run
Oh
going
my
to
lord, with
uh
ice and snow and rain constantly,
yeah, and
probably choppy choppy.
and going that past, I've been in the Norwegian part of the North Cape, but going past that and then into really territory that is really German controlled until you got there. And this is where the Russians would have lost without the Brits and the Americans and everybody like that. The armory like the Americans gave the Russians is literally all coming at the moment. It's like they've
You're
got
welcome.
to pin down the Russians. Loads can send everything we've got.
Yeah.
Bullets, and literally just get him to the Russians. Get food to them because they are pinning down the Germans and they need to keep them there. And how much are the Russians losing? They're losing loads and loads of men. But lucky enough, they've got a lot. So we can just get that. That is it. They lost a lot. And that's it. But it's just keep them restocked and they will bring in the men and women to the front line. And we will just stock them up. And I think it's a good, that Jude Law one. There's another movie where he's a sniper with him and Ed Harrison.
Oh, I don't know
Enemy
that.
Enemy at Gates. It gives it.
Oh yeah.
There's a bit with when they're at St. Petersburg. It is great to show how they're just pinned down, and I loved it. There's a bit, and I always wanted. I have to go back to it. I never really researched it. Is where they kind of get sent. Train arrives. They're at the front. Here's your rifle, and here's ammo. So when that person gets shot, you pick up their rifle. And obviously they didn't have enough like that. And I was like, wow. So I'm guessing it's true to have it in the movie. You would hope.
When you're looking at historic photos of World War I and even back to the American Civil War, because that's when photography really, had a boom in the United States, you could tell a fake photo of a deceased soldier because they would stage them with a rifle in their hand. Like they would go down with their rifle in their hand. There was never a rifle in the hand of a deceased soldier more than 3 seconds after he fell because the other soldiers would grab the rifle and grab the ammunition. And so that's a telltale sign for those of you out there of faked or staged photos is if they still have their rifle in their hand. That's staged.
Especially if it's not been fired, you can get another shot off.
Yep.
That's it. But yeah, so we're doing this horrid run. I can't remember where they were going. Donetsk, was it?
Oh, I don't know. I can't remember
where they said they were heading to. But yeah, it's a cold night, and we get that. I do like it when we get on the top, and then it's a bitter cold night, isn't it? Coco's coming, sir. Like that.
So British.
That. So British.
So British.
I love it, and I love that bit. Coco coming, sir. Yes, that's very British. Oh, it still reminds me of I think I've told you before this flight lieutenant. He had a right go at everybody once. He was really clever, academic, but not street smarts. But he came from a really posh family, and he was probably the most poshest person I've ever heard. One of those ones, like Stephen Fry time 10, with like, oh, hello, that moment. And he got really annoyed that nobody turned up one day and gave him his crumpets and tea in the morning.
Crumpets and tea.
We were like, because you do that yourself, sir. He didn't get it, and he just
poor old boy.
And he just didn't get it. He just didn't get it because he just came sweat out of that, where his mummy and daddy's servants would give him his crumpets and tea, and he didn't understand that we're not there to do that for you. We've got a job. We're not here to give you crumpets and tea. Yeah, it was one of the most funniest moments when you're like, oh, he actually gets that in real life. That's what he does every morning. Somebody comes in. Here you go, crumpets, tea. Here's your morning newspaper. Would you like me to dress you, sir?
In my next life, I'm going to have a servant. What do they say in Downton? A lady's maid. Yes.
A lady's maid.
Yes.
A lady's maid. That's it. Yes. I always laugh you actually. Sorry, I'm going to go Downton a bit. When you actually think about these officers, they would have a Batman. A lot of them as well, but they're literally the same. And it's just mad. Is
a squire, essentially, a squire.
Yes, it is, and it's been going on for how many years, and it still happens. Everybody's everybody has if you're that high up, you have a Batman, and then
that's who Bates was. Yeah,
and you forget there. It happens now. There are still servants out there that are there. Their primary job is to dress you, clean you like that. It's mad. And then if you go back in time, it's even when they're like, what was it in the French court, that you knew when you made it, when you were that important, you were allowed to wipe the
groom,
the king's bottom,
the groom of the stool.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, because at that point he would tell you his information. The
That
daily
person was
tried.
the
Yeah,
closest to you. Yeah.
yeah. It's like mad. So you made it when that was your job. Yes, if you got there in court that much, that you were that you made it. I wiped somebody's rear end. I've made it in life. And everybody was like, that's the job everybody wanted. It's
And on the ladies' side, it was the person who had the keys, and normally it was the head housekeeper that would have all the keys. And you notice in Downton, Mrs. What's her name has all the keys. Mrs. Hughes, she's always got that big ring of keys.
Yes.
Even going back like middle age. So the groom of the stool was the male who took care of that, and the lady's maid that had the keys, had the keys to the castle, literally.
Yes. Carson and Hughes have just got married. We're watching that again. So yeah.
I love some Downton.
I do. It's great. But on this, after the cocoa, we get an explosion. And the compass rose has been hit. And I like this because it's just out of nowhere. That's
just
what it
sudden.
would be.
Yep.
Just no. Yeah. Then you don't expect it in the movie. It's just boom, done. That's it. And we get some flooding. Everybody gets taken out. And it's literally, it's going down. It's going down. There's no doubt about it. They're trying the best. And this moment is like, he's called. He's telling people to. And these little communication funnels, all he can hear is the screaming of his own men drowning or being burnt alive or whatever they are down there. But they are.
Here's what I was thinking: the hatches were being closed. That's what I think.
Maybe, yeah.
Because depending on where you were, the hatch, wherever the ship took the hit.
Trying to.
If
the ship.
If there's a hatch to close, you got to close it, and there are going to be men in there. That's what I was thinking it was.
Yeah. But his reaction, and we get a little bit later as well, I just think it's good. It's just that moment. And
slams it.
It's just like, you can't do anything. You literally,
nope.
It's everybody's, gone anyway. Quickly they give the climb everybody out who can get out. Is the, everybody off, everybody for themselves, abandon ship. Unfortunately, one of the main vessels, what do you call it? It's not one of the dinghies, it's one of the wooden ones, isn't it? Is
a lifeboat. I don't know. I think
lifeboat,
we'll call it a lifeboat. Yeah.
It's stuck. It can't release. I'm guessing it was metal wire. That's why they didn't chop it or try and do it. I'm guessing that's why.
Yeah, I mean, I'm guessing. I was thinking there would have to be a way to or unhinge it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
they said, it's completely sealed. So he's like, well, get the dinghy's over. Everybody else, off you go. And and then we get
hit the water
of the ship going down, and then we get this real clever guy. He's the cleverest guy in the thing. He's Roll. And the officer goes up, what are you doing? He's taking the detonators, the out of all the barrels. So when they sink, they won't explode.
Yeah.
Like so he's just taking every single one out. And then there's like the officer's like, well done. Good, that's your job. Good, because he's like, what are you doing?
When everything goes wrong, if you could just remember what you're supposed to do and just focus on, you have one, it's the classic meme. You have one job. Yep. And if everything's going wrong and you were trained well, you're going to do that one thing. And then the other gentleman comes up with the classified documents and says, hold them or chuck them, something like that. And he says, throw them over or whatever. But yeah, when you got that one job, you got it. And he's doing his one job. Good job, dude.
Yeah, I think Jade and girlfriend's seen it once in me when I went back into something happened, and she went, "You just went back into the military and you got everything done." Like that. She went, "It was really weird to see."
Like, one of the first things you teach your kids is, what does what does the smoke detector mean? Like, what does that sound mean? And yeah, my oldest daughter was about 5 or 6 because she was in no, she was 5. She was 5 because she was in school already. She knew what to do if the smoke detector went off, which was don't think, run out of the house, right? So my younger daughter is about 3 months old. My husband's making bacon in the kitchen and the smoke detector goes off. My 5-year-old grabs my 3-month-old. She hadn't even picked her up by herself yet. Grabs her, runs out of the house as fast as possible with my younger daughter. And I tell that story over and over again because they fight with each
Great.
other like cats and dogs. And I keep reminding them that they, that
There was
you
one
know,
day, there was one
your
time
older
that you liked
sister
each other.
really loved you so much that she went into automatic and saved you from bacon smoke. So yeah, but that's what, it's what happens. If you're trained
Yeah.
well, you go into automatic.
Yes, but yeah, they're doing their duties, but they're kind of screwed. They're literally, it's going down, so their things, and it's that sound of like save yourselves, and that you think they're in. I'm guessing in real Russian waters. What I wouldn't
Gotta
even
be
believe
cold water. Yeah.
minus something. It's got minus something anyway. It's going to be
Yep.
absolutely horrendous. Whatever it's going to be.
Hours. You have hours to live.
Yeah,
You're not.
but
It's not going to be long.
yeah, it's going to either you jump in, have a heart attack because it's that cold, or you're going to be lucky. But on this bit, we've got there's poor souls who can't get to the dinghies, and I don't think there's many of them dinghies out there that they can get to, and the other ones are just they're just wading out there whilst the ship's going down, and we get. I think it's good the deaths we see. Because then it's not over dramatic.
It would be quiet.
This crap would happen. It's just there is nothing. So we get everybody trying to get onto the dinghy that can get on a dinghy, but we get visual. I might not show it in like this bit, but we get Watts. He dies. We get him talking to Talar's wife. He dies as well, and you can hear him talking as well. Morale dies. He's last memory. He gets the phone call, so that's his last memory.
Sad.
And they just then you just see the bodies. Yeah, their last moments. Yeah, isn't very. Some are happy, some are not, and I'm guessing that's the memory of like you're freezing to death. So a lot of them on that, and then the ones who get onto the ship, the dinghies, we get the only one we see it already is Lockhart's one, and he does completely the right thing. He goes into proper command mode. We've got to stay awake, and but at the beginning they're taking turns in the water, so they're literally whose turn is it next? Whose turn? There's one, one point he's like, oh, it's Ewan's whatever the guy's name is, and he's like, he's dead, and there's and he's like that, and there's one in on the dinghy, he's gone.
Dump him over, cold as a stone. Dump him over.
Get him overboard, and it's mostly like, and now he's in it, and he's like, keep him awake. Where we get the command, gets the note that they've been taken out, and she's really got to put it on the board. Literally, that's her job.
That's hard.
Mark it up, and she's like, oh, you knew somebody on it. Bad luck there. It's like that. That is really a very good.
So British.
It's bad luck, dear, like that. And he's like, but no things. Oh, you knew somebody. Kind of shit happens. Get on with it. You got to do it. So bad luck. But we go once she pinpoints the position of the compass road's gone. And again, they're marking the position not because to find anything really. It's that last position of the U-boat was definitely
the U-boat. They need to know where it was. Yep.
Yeah. So now they know the direction happening. But we get the dinghies in the water. We get the deaths. Everybody's getting out. But we get now until really it's the morning. Is Lockhart is just shouting. Let's have a sing, making like that. Just his job, is just to keep everybody awake and alive. So he's like slipping. Everybody goes. There's a few of them goes delirious, and Yeah, until like kind of morning where we get across. He's still trying to happen. They're not in the best shape, but he sees the other dinghy from a distance. That is Ericsson's with his lot, and he's I love it, like I love this thing that Lockhart's way was have a sing, make sure you're singing, and Ericsson ones, I'm gonna quiz you.
Yeah, even a quiz question.
I'm doing a pop quiz like that. Like it's brilliant. I was like, no, tell me. And then, but even to that point, man, next time I see you, I want the right answer. So yeah, he's things. But at least you know, well, at this point, it's the main two that you've had. Ericsson and Lockhart are alive with a couple of rates, but everybody else that you've seen are gone. They've all perished.
The only part of this story, knowing that it's a work of fiction, the only part that just bothered me in the tiniest bit was the captain surviving, because I mean, wouldn't there be some dishonor in the captain surviving and so many other men
I don't think
dying?
that was a thing then, I'm guessing.
Okay.
When you're back, I'm guessing, captain goes down.
Goes down
I'm
with the ship. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm guessing at that point they probably were told not to because we need you in command.
Need a
if
leader.
you survive in another ship. It's because
That makes sense.
We haven't got that many trained sailors like this one. Ericsson, he's still, he got people who learn experience, but I think even when he was a merchant, he's got 20 years experience, doesn't he, at the start? I think
that
they
makes
say.
sense.
So, yeah, so them to sacrifice yourself when you're gonna get another ship, if more than likely, you wouldn't want to lose that experience, I'm guessing. So but they get back and they're kind of pleased, but we have to now go back into things. I like this shot. I love
old it.
London.
I do
there you
too.
go, Bovril. There you go, Bovril.
There's your Bovril. What is Votrix?
I
Votrix?
have no idea. They're going to be some weird one. I'm trying to see.
I love any pictures of like old advertising. And there's Schweppes. They got Bovril, Schweppes, Votrix,
Where's
Bill
Fred?
Beans.
Oh, yeah, it's a bloke, yeah.
Bill Beans.
I have no idea. Guinness.
You got Wrigley's.
Guinness is good for all. I love that.
Wrigley's is there. And then next to Guinness, I can't read that. Whatever's to the left of Guinness, I can't read, but I love old advertisements. Yeah. So the center there, that's not there. There's no whatever that is in the center, right? Because the arrow statue is really to the side.
That has been
unless it's been moved.
No, that's been completed. So now it's just a walkway, isn't it? So you get because it's not even a roundabout now. When you have to go through it,
no, it's just like a 5-6 street.
5. Yeah, you just cross over. So
combo, and the horses is on one side and the statue of Eros is on the other side. But I don't think there's anything in the middle. Could be wrong there, but I do love Piccadilly.
I've only last time I went was a funny moment when I was in a armored vehicle and they got lost and went through the center of it.
Oh goodness!
Everybody looked and we were like,
"Oh, that's awesome!"
And everyone, all the tourists just looking this big armored vehicle going past. We're like, "Yeah, you went the wrong way, didn't you?" Because everybody else was
fun.
Like asleep, and the driver was like, "Oh shit, and we were like, "What's the matter?" And we looked and went, "You're gonna get bollocked in the morning." And we were like, damn it. And he's like, "Yeah, somebody's gonna report you." Yeah, it was a moment, but anyway, we get this, and again, I love this because you do get some Yanks. There's some Yanks here. It's like in the background where this waiter ignores them. He's like, "That is waiter," and he's like, "No, I'm gonna go to the officer." Yeah, but I'm guessing because it's not the British way it's wait your turn. It's not to shout out. So we do like a
here. If you don't shout out, they don't want to bother you. Like here, it's annoying when a waiter comes over and bothers you when you're in conversation. So they don't come over unless you wait.
Is everything okay? And then, no, can I get you something else? That's what they would do over here, as you know. So yeah,
absolutely.
But I like this is again, it's very British. Oh, the water's a bit dusty. Oh, well, it is the war. Well, I don't want to make a fuss.
It's so British.
And I'm guessing because tonic isn't really can get it. I'm guessing because the manufacturing is used for something else. So they're having gin and water. And so yeah,
Ew.
pink gin and water, isn't it?
What is pink
So
gin?
I
What is?
don't know. I hate gin. I can't. It's way too.
Okay.
Yeah,
As I get
pink gin lovers.
older,
Yeah.
I
So
do
yeah,
like the kind of
I know.
drinks my granny liked, and I do like a
Yeah,
gin now because I'm getting older. It's a grandma
I know.
drink.
Like
I'm not a grandma, but I'm
I
just
know Jade's niece does have a pink gin now and again, but I'm guessing it's just sweeter. I don't know. I just don't know.
oh, don't
But
know. I just like regular gin, just gin.
yeah, yeah, can't do it. Oh, I hate it. Well, but, but yes, I like that. So yeah, and then of course we get then Ericsson turns up and he says, "Did you?" Because he was polite enough not to just send a message, but to go and see Morel's wife to tell her the bad news. And he, like I was, did she take it well? Well, she took it very well because I was not the only the only
There.
visitor, the only person there.
Yeah.
She's been taking it well for a while, so she's already got a gentleman fellow already there. So yeah, he was not turned gentlemanly, let's say that. But yeah, but in this point we get after that we get Ericsson. He's got promoted, and now he tells Lockhart, "You're going to get promoted to lieutenant colonel, isn't it?" But he's getting his new ship, and chat. Let's go for it, Sandy. What's the before we actually end the poll? But there was something you wanted to tell us about the poll.
Well, I
A
think you
name.
did a really good job at picking the names because um, the one of the ships, the Coreopsis, I think you picked the name because that's the actual real ship that was used to film the film. So the scenes aboard ship were filmed on the HMS Coreopsis. So good job there. But that was not the name of the second ship.
Yes, it was Salthash Castle.
So what is that? Because even
Even they were confused. I'm guessing it's
they said
made
I
up.
don't,
I don't
don't
know.
know
I
a
don't
castle
look
that
up.
name.
Yeah, but that's the second ship. So he's given the command. It's a new frigate class that they built. So it's not just what Compass Rose was. It's got some.
It's
Got
not a
some more
Corvette.
whack.
Yep.
Yes, it got some more
He
power.
says, "What is that thing up there?" It's like a radar tower and all kinds of cool stuff going on.
Yeah, but on this, he offers the promotion, and he's got two choices. I can have a lieutenant colonel as my number one, and I would want you, or you can have your own ship. So yeah, this is where out of, I suppose, respect and their friendship now and familiarity. When we're going, where's our new ship? Where is it docked? So they go that. So it's a good little game, a good little moment between them. Yes, but they get this. They get this frigate, and again, it is. What is all this? And again, it's back to what they had at the first scene with the Compass Rose. Is like they didn't know what it was. Some of the bits because it was so modern and put together. But this is a bit more technical. This is things that are like we don't even know what it is. We better familiarize ourselves. And he's like, I'll go and get the blueprint. Says I think I know somebody in the engineering things. We can have a.
Well, you know where it's come from. It's come from the German technology that they've been learning about, right? They've been now, and the German engineers and scientists that they've brought, into the country. But yeah, now they've got better radar and sonar, and they've got that whatever that graphic thing is that's now plotting the distances, all kinds of cool stuff just in the span of a few years. But they've been pulling the technology from the German ships.
Yeah. Well, it's I love it because it's even modern radar. How it's pinned now was robbed during the Falklands Wars off the Argentinians, and then it was redeveloped. And it was redeveloped and went, they've got a good idea. We can we'll nick this and make it better. But they had a better idea. So yeah, it's
all's fair in war.
But I like that. Whilst this is I'd say like a scene upon a scene. Whilst he's looking at things and he goes on to their I suppose I don't know what they call it. The visual deck bit. I don't know what they call it in the Navy. I think, but yeah, he looks down the communication pipe, and remembers. And he hears the noise, so he grabs on, and it's just he's hearing the screams again. And I like this. It's just again, it's showing him as a man, him as like a normal person. The emotions of like, oh, I forgot, and now I remember again. Yeah, and he has a bit of a kind of a PTSD moment, really, doesn't he? So it's like
truly,
that, and it's again, it's just the emotion, and again, well shot, slams it, off I go. We've got a job to do. Yeah, and again, so we go back to Lockhart with his lady, I suppose, like that. You know, now
Julie.
Yeah, they're getting again from their eyes. They're getting a little bit closer and closer every moment. So it's again, it's just nice. It's just them. You know, you're happy for Lockhart like that. You just because he's a likable fellow. So it's just nice that they're just building something, and they're like again they're showing this scene away from military, away from the Navy, just in a little country park somewhere in England, just having normality, just having a little picnic together. And it's just it's just a nice whilst they're again trying not to talk about war, but it always brings back to the reality of where we are, and that's it. So yeah, we get back. Yeah, it's just a nice little scene. Now we get back to them. They don't actually say where the last bits are. Can't remember where they said it, but now we're getting at the end again. I'm guessing this is a bit more stock footage, so we're getting that they've been out and about. So we get about the cruel sea again, just the viciousness of it. So this all seemed like stock footage, this bit where they're kind of just saying the tales.
It did
of what is happening. You know, we get more explosions and all that. So maybe it's back in doing the Russian run again. But yeah, it's again they're hunting for a U-boat, and they get the new signal radars. It's on a sheet as well, so they get the position in, and they spot out in the distance. You know, it's surface a bit, don't they? Is this the one where it surfaces? Yeah,
it does, and
they get it, and it comes back. Yeah, and they're on its tail, and this is where he's. They do their death charges, don't they? And then Lockhart's like, "We must have got him.
He's not going to let up."
And he's like, "No."
Erickson is not letting up on this.
Yeah, because they see a little bit of oil, and they're like, they must have gone. He's like, "That's what they might have released.
They could have done that on purpose."
Yeah. So, how many days it goes past, or hours like that, because he's snappy, he's tired, but he won't give it up. He's like, "No, do the search pattern." Then do it again. Why are you up here? So he kind of has a go at him, for not doing his job. Tells the radar guys, we're doing it again. And then that one in the middle has a little bit of a don't make that sound. It's irritating. Just do your job. So they've been up hours as well. And it's carry on. He finally apologizes to him, and then goes. They've got a ship's doctor. And I don't know what he gave him. Some caffeine tablets, maybe. He's like, I need to stay awake.
Oh, either that or, is that it? I thought he gave him a sleeping pill, actually, because that's why he spit it out, because he had to stay awake. I don't know.
No, because he asked him. I don't know, but yeah, it's.
And then he just hurried up and spit it out as soon as the alarm went.
Yeah, where he's like, it's like, oh, get up. Up we go. Well, he takes one, doesn't he, and spits out the other one, or I don't know. So because he does say, I took a pill. Damn it. Like that. So he's taken one. But yeah, they now got the ping again. So there are things, and they managed to. I'm guessing it's got a malfunction, the U-boat or something, or they did damage it, but it's had to surface.
And it's staying still. Yeah, it surfaced and it's not moving.
Yeah. And I like that because he has a go at the gun crew. He's like, bloody fire! Like that.
Like, what are you waiting for, dude? Yeah. Go ahead, let it rip.
And it's a yeah, and I do like this. It reminds me of the U-boat. It, like I say, because we mentioned it, is when they fire back is in Indiana Jones when he's like that and he goes, "Where is he? Where's Indy? He's over there." And he's on the U-boat, like yeah, on the
Da, da,
submarine,
da,
about to
da.
go. But yeah, they get this is the some of the U-boat crew jump overboard, and after being damaged, and they're like, "Oh, it's the first time we've seen the enemy."
The enemy.
And I think it's even like they look a lot like
They
us.
look a lot like us. Yep.
Yeah, and he's even like, "Don't worry," but like they're getting him over. "Don't worry, got you, buddy. Don't worry." So it's they're taking out care of him, and they destroy their second their U-boat. And again, it's just they're carrying on duties after the duties until we get to kind of now 1945. And it's just rows of U-boats, and like they've ended the war, and they kind of like a moment of reminiscence as well. It's like Lockhart has about the crew that they lost, and he's like, yeah, and he's mentioned it, and even to who was, I don't know, Watkins or whatever. He was, oh yes, I remember him. I was like, yeah, these are the times that we should remember. And this is the times they should be here. So yeah, it's a moment where they just we now know, especially time out. It's the Allies have won, really, the Battle of the Atlantic. And like there's so many lives lost, and
They've won, but it's taken its toll for sure.
Yeah, and we just know that they're going to carry on as if things. I like it because it just ends. I like it. It's just like we're just having that, and it just goes
the end.
The end comes up, and he's just like it's the copper. So I'm guessing they got a lot of things off that, but I adore this movie. I think it's great. I said it's when I picked it, I did say it's one of my favorites. But Sandy, have you got? And I can remove this one, so make sure stop that screen sharing. And I'm guessing we got some numbers.
Well, we're going to have some notes first, and then we're going to have some numbers. So I just wanted to share, this is one of the covers of the book. There are multitudes of covers of this book because it was a hit. So it was printed and reprinted. And as I mentioned, in 1951, it was a bestseller, very quickly produced into the film that we saw and really enjoyed. And kudos to the writer for creating a fictional work based on his experience, and to Eric Ambler, the screenwriter, who turned it into a really great script. And I agree with everything you said about the dialogue and the story that was told. We mentioned some of the actors and the fact that several of them have been in Zulu and other films that we've either watched or are on the Wheel of Film, and that the filming was aboard the HMS Coreopsis and using archival war footage. Now we'll get into the numbers. Pull that one up. This was the highest grossing British film of 1953. And unlike other British war films, according to the sources that I looked into, it performed better in the US than other British war films did. I don't have specifics on the budget and the box office. It's sometimes hard with British films at this time to get those numbers. But I looked into, okay, why did British war films not do well? Because the US war films were always the top of the box office and they just kept churning them out. And I think it was sort of the class, the upper class portrayed in these films, because in the American war films, it's usually the farmers, the folks who are who joined up and volunteered, and it wasn't our upper class generally that did that. Maybe that's a reason, I'm not sure, but this one definitely did better. It did receive an Oscar nomination for the screenplay, and it also received BAFTA nominations for Best Film, Best British Film, and Best Actor for Jack Hawkins. It didn't win, but the film certainly was recognized with those nominations. Now, internationally in 1953, using, of course, the US box office and all the other box offices, um, this film didn't rank in the top 10. And the top 5 were The Robe, From Here to Eternity, which you guys call Stairway to Heaven,
Okay, yeah.
Shane, How to Marry a Millionaire, and Peter Pan. And thank God that's not on the wheel. I hate Peter Pan. Can't stand the story. I don't like the film. I don't like the story itself.
I like the actual story of Peter
Yeah.
Pan than the things, because it's just dark. It's so dark.
Yeah, I just don't like the whole cool thing about not growing up. I don't know. I don't like it. But yeah, it was war films. I don't know what the distinction would be. I could imagine that it would have to do with some of the depictions of class, um but I would say this is definitely a war film. I hadn't seen it, by the way. I thought I had seen it. But then when I, kind of looked into it, I was like, no, I don't think I've seen this one. Awesome book. Book was amazing. Um, and as we mentioned, the film being so close in dialogue and story. Um, it was tremendous. Shall I go first? And I'll
Go
leave
on
to
then,
you.
as you started, yeah.
I'll just say I think we've hit all the important points. I think that Nicholas Montserrat did a great job of sketching out a number of different characters who had, okay, they all sort of have the same background, but they had different home lives. And I like the way home lives, I guess. I like the way that he built the camaraderie. And I really like the way he depicted the captain and those in positions of leadership and the responsibilities that they had. I think if you didn't have strong characters, you wouldn't care so much in when viewing war films. And in this one, I definitely did care about the characters, and that added to the how much I really enjoyed this film. I give this film a strong 7.25. That's a high rating for me, and a definite recommend. This will go into my rotation for war films that I enjoy watching. Even though it's a fictional story, it is not depicting a true story. I think it does very accurately depict um, the war in the Atlantic, and for that, kudos to the actors and to the director and to the screenwriter and to Nicholas Montserrat for writing a great story.
Yeah, very good, very good. Yeah, for me, I probably said it a lot at the start. I it this movie, I always gets better every time I watch it, and every time it comes on, I watch it, and I always think it gets better. It gets better the more you watch it, because you understand what the author was trying to do, and the director. But it's just, I say it does. It's not yet a true story, but it gives you such a true sense of that's what it was like. That is exactly what it was like. Yeah, it could drawn out, but for, as I say, I've said this, for a over 2 hour movie for 1953, there's not much. If you looked at it, you would actually edit out. You would edit out maybe some literally non speaking scenes, but apart from that, every bit of dialogue fits in, and then the quiet moments are needed to give you that moments of tension that aren't over dramatic. I think this is a great. I think you have understated actors in it that are doing a very good, damn good job. That's it, on great dialogue that, of course, yeah, we both know is literally carbon copy out of the book. I can see why it did do well, even with a 2 hour movie. If everybody was raving about the book and they were like, "Oh, this is the they're taking it to the big screen." I think it's great. It's one of my top ones. I never ever. It's one of those ones. I think, like comedies and war movies, you don't. They're very rare. They're going to go into the 9s or 10s. I would score this. I normally score it at 7, but after this watch, I'm going to go 7.5. I just think it fits a good war movie without having to be blood and guts. I know 50s movies really weren't, but
Yes.
you still would get, the deaths and all that. But when you see the deaths, they're very subtly done, and it's very
Hmm.
subdued. It gets you, like when you see the officers, and like Watts and uh, Tao and get kind of frozen to death. It's just a moving. It's just subtly done. We just have a little voiceover of what their past was, and that's it. And the rest, when they get dragged on, it's very subtly done. So it's clever that it is all about, the brotherhood of war, done in a way that, the character building makes you want to immerse yourself into their little journey. And that is when, they have their troubles and their highs. You're in it with the little ride, of a great little 1953 movie. And say, like, yeah, the stock footage, okay, there's not much of it, but the real footage they must have done, really, really well shot. Cinematography is, I think, is a great for 1953
Absolutely.
to get that epic Atlantic, making it feel dangerous and making you feel the tension into it. So yeah, very well done for that. So yeah, I always recommend this. This is one of my top ones. Recommend, oh, war movie, you got to watch this. It's one of those ones because you don't get there's not many out there that are good naval ones. They're always over, sometimes a bit like midways and all that, a bit too much, a bit over the top dramatics.
More in the Pacific. I think there's a
Yeah.
greater volume of films in the Pacific. I
Mm.
like um In Harm's Way because it's not your traditional, film. It's focusing, well, again, I always go back to the shark and the Moby Dick story, but it goes back to the sharks and then the tie-in with Jaws.
Yeah.
Um, one thing I did want to say though is sometimes in war films, what irks me is when they kind of shoehorn in a love story, but I didn't feel that way here. This felt
Mm.
very natural and an important part of the story. And for the 3 different stories involving, or the 4 stories involving the girls at home, when with Lockhart and Julie, with the Morels and their messy end to their relationship, even with Farabee and his wife who you meet, and then with Watson Tallow and the sister, those all were very natural stories, and again, all very different to show the difference in the characters and the different experiences that they had during the war. So
Mm.
that too often in these films, and okay, the horrendous example is Pearl Harbor. I know, what an awful film, um, and a terrible love story, force fit into there. But here I felt it was absolutely natural, and
Mm.
I liked them.
Yeah. That's the thing. I'm now looking forward to get to that part of the book. So like that, it's because I'm not. Yeah, I'm getting to it. But yeah, it's kind of like, oh, I want to see how it was portrayed in the book as well now. So that shows you also a great movie coincided with a great novel, because you want to, yeah, you
Yeah.
kind of want to well, I want to see that. And so far I'm being very impressed with the novel, and I'd say first time I would highly recommend the novel, if it's audio, but the descriptions he does is very, very, very cleverly written. And again,
Yeah.
um, to the point, he doesn't have to be overcomplicated. He's using it that it's an easy written book. He doesn't like, I'm not going to be clever. I'm just going to tell you, but I'm going to be well written telling you. So yeah, I
It
don't know
is. It's
any
very
of his
concise
work. Yeah.
and crisp. I like crisp writing.
Mm,
It's crisp but descriptive, and I like
mm,
that.
yes. But yeah, so this is going to be on your list to find an edition.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get an early edition to add to my pile. Okay, I can't say to my shelf anymore. Shelves are full. Now I have
There
a
you go.
pile. So there's a pile growing in the corner that I have to take care of.
There we go. Well, you have to do a GoFundMe a string for a new shelf. There you
No, I won't do a
go.
GoFundMe. I have
The Library of Sandy. That's it,
I
and the
have the
whole building. The
design in
whole
mind.
building.
Yep,
Okay.
the design is in mind of what we need to do here.
Yeah, I always say that if I was won the lottery or something, I'm getting a library room. I'm getting a library room, just like that, and have a little, one of them writing desks, and like where it's got
Yes.
that green felt or
Yes.
whatever it is.
Yes.
It's not like green leather felt. I'm having it. I don't care. Even if it's like that, some little pen, little fountain pen, little holder in it.
The fountain pens. I need that. Yes, I have a, like, the sitting room. We don't have a dining room because I don't want people coming over to my house to eat. So that has turned into kind of the quote nice sitting room, but that is gonna get a wall of shelves. That room is getting a wall of shelves.
Nice. Cool. Oh, yeah, but so hopefully next week we're going to get Jay's score on this as well. So yeah, when he feels a bit better, we'll find out how he scores, so we can add it to our list. But
Hopefully I feel better too. My goodness, I'm so sorry.
That's fine. We couldn't really tell, to be honest, except for your power outages
Too.
Yeah, power outages. Yeah, that's it. But got to be here for next week. Do you remember the movie?
I can't wait. It's been so long since I've seen this film, The Usual Suspects.
Yes, I've not seen it. Things now. I got hit twice. I'm gonna get hit twice, and both times I won the copyright claim. So I'm going.
Oh, good.
Just do it again. Just do it again. I'm like, literally. Yeah, it's fixed. But next week, this was your pick. Was it your pick or Jay's
I put it on the wheel. Yep.
Yeah, there we go. The 95 or 98? It's got to be 90. So when was it? 95 and 98.
Let me pull it up here.
I'm going to go for 95.
Is, oh my God, I keep forgetting we use the when we're alphabetizing everything. 1995.
Yay, there you go. But here we go with The Usual Suspects.
The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world he didn't exist.
All right, you all know the drill.
And that was how it started. The 5 of us being brought in on a trumped-up charge to be leaned on by half-wits.
Number 1, step forward.
It didn't make sense that I'd be there. I mean, these guys were hardcore hijackers.
Answer my question. You hear me in the back? Hello?
What the cops never figured out, and what I know now, was that these men would never break, never bend over for anybody.
You gonna charge me?
You don't put guys like that into a room together.
Let's get back to the truck.
Who knows what can happen?
I figure we owe it to ourselves to salvage a little dignity. Me and Fenster heard about a little job.
My employer requires your services, gentlemen. 1 job, 1 day's work. Very dangerous.
Close quarters, 10, maybe 20 men. Anybody goes in there is not coming out alive.
Is there a problem?
I want to know why. 27 men died on that pier for what looks to be $91 million worth of dope that wasn't there.
This is his life's in danger. He saw the devil.
Kaiser Soze!
He mentioned Kaiser Soze.
Who? Who's Kaiser Soze?
Press 20. Do it now.
There is no Kaiser Soze.
You never knew. That was his power.
He was in the harbor killing many men.
You mention his name again, I'll kill you right now.
How do you shoot the devil in the back?
A gift from Mr. Soze.
You got my whole life in here. Everything I've ever done since I was 18.
Everybody I've ever worked with or that time with.
Keaton always said, I don't believe in God, but I'm afraid of him.
He's here.
Well, I believe in God. And the only thing that scares me is Kaiser Soze. And like that, he's gone.
Ooh, looking forward to that one. Looking forward to it. I've not seen it for a while, I must say. So yeah, it's going to be a good little rewatch. Even though most people know what the twist is,
But don't we can't talk much about it because hopefully there are at least a few folks who haven't seen it. It's one of those films. Once you see it, it's fun. But once you see it, it's like an Agatha Christie movie, right? You can only, So anyway, we shan't talk about it.
Yes, it's we want to talk about it. We can't talk about it. And something like that. But let's see if we get a Western a Western, do you think, Daryl? Daryl, do you think?
Daryl, we have to have a
we've got
Western.
to. I think like maybe the film club, the wheel's now playing a trick. Like, no, not doing it now. Sorry, you've asked too many times. I'm not doing it. Now, so yeah, let's. Go. I think it's in the circle of things. I think it has to be. I think it's gonna be Jay's pick. It should be. So he might get one of his.
Could be. Yep.
It could be, but it could be Daryl's. Fingers crossed, thumbs, toes, everything crossed, ears, whatever you can do, people. So maybe it might be today that we might get a Western, but there's a lot on the wheel. But anyway, here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Yay.
Okay, another war film.
Another war film.
Another war film. I'm guessing this one's mine. I'm guessing this.
We put a lot of war films on the wheel. I just it's probably someone said thus far it was like 1/3 of all the films we've reviewed. Probably Daryl has told us that 1/3 of all the films we reviewed have been war films, and I'm guessing probably 1/3 of all the films on the wheel are war films. So you put this one on, but I also rated it as a high, gave it a high rating. So
this is 70s, isn't it? This is going to be this 70s are coming. We've got a lot of 70s. Let's say that
1968.
1968. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was 1968.
Let's see who's in it. Who is in it?
There's got to be a lot on there that's going to be on the list. Let's say that.
It's going to be a lot of our favorites, I'm sure. Let's see.
Let's see. Theatrical trailer. Let me make sure that one's good.
Oh, I think it's our first Vanessa Redgrave.
So you have to make sure it's not the 1930s version. That's not very good.
No, 1968. And we've got Trevor Howard, Jean Gilgut. This may be our first Sir John. I think.
Got one on. Let's do this. Got one on Rotten Tomatoes one. There we go. So let's bring that up. Here we go with the trailer.
Oh, Peter Bowles. Oh, that's a good one from like Britcom World.
Here we go.
On a day of confusion, disorder, and defeat, in one brilliant moment of madness, the 600 officers and men of the British Light Cavalry faced the entire Russian army. This was the age of pageantry and splendor, when soldiers dreamt of glory and war was a glamorous game. It was a time of arrogance and power, of regiments resplendent on parade, and the richest and proudest of them all was the symbol of the British Empire, the heroic Light Brigade.
Through the gates and over the walls of Sebastopol. Will you join me? We'd not get up the slopes, Russell. I would. He would. But he would be alone. Yes, alone. Death loves a crowd. Watch how death will pick out the crowds.
The very, very rich, the ruling class, and the poor. The righteous who opposed the war, and the zealous who demanded it. Trevor Howard as Lord Cardigan, John Gielgud as Lord Raglan, Jill Bennett as Mrs. Jubilee, Harry Andrews as Lord Lucan, Vanessa Redgrave as Clarissa, and David Hemmings as Captain Nolan. The men who came to fight and die, and those who came to watch.
Attack, sir! Attack, attack, attack! Attack what? Attack where? Guns, Mr. Nolan!
on a day of confusion, disorder, and defeat. In one brilliant moment of madness, the 600 officers and men of the British Light Cavalry charged the entire Russian army. That grand, heroic moment, the charge of the Light Brigade.
The old epic music.
You shouldn't get a copyright for that, but who knows? But
yeah, I wouldn't have thought so. This movie, I think it's a good talking point. I think it is. It's more of like, what would you do in that situation? I think it's good because I think most of the movie, I know it's Charles Light Brigade, but there's a romance in it. Like it's a romance. It's quite a good romance story built into this.
and we've got the classes again. The classes.
Yeah, the stupidity of arrogance of officers. Let's say that. And then I find it farcical, and then you realize it's actually true. It was actually true, and you're like, oh, it's a true story. That's even worse. So I think it's a more of a point of when it gets to the point in the movie, you're like, why and what would you have done? It's just where we just had that the question in the class system. This era of the class system is epic, and the stupidity of people who, I'm a lord by name because of title, because of daddy and something he did 200 years ago, but I'm absolutely stupid. It fits around that of the one of the biggest disasters of the British Empire, military wise, of all time.
And here we don't study. We don't study the Crimean War at all. So, like, we know it from the poem, not from history class.
Yeah, I think the poems probably out of this is more
cannon to the left of them, cannon in front of them, cannon all around them. But
it's got some quotes to do. Or was it? It's not to say what? Oh, was it not to say? Oh, what is the phrase?
I don't know. I know the into the jaws of death part.
No, it's the ones where it's not to say something, but it's to do or die.
There's not to make reply. There's not to reason why. There's but to do and die.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it's from this literally this moment stupid in history where it gives it away in the trailer, and I think most people know where over 600 men charge some artillery guns on horseback with only one outcome, and they knew what the outcome was. It's a different kind of movie in the sense it's a war movie, but it's more it's a war about the class system in this movie. It's not a direct, but you do have the war into it, the Crimea, but it's more of like it's showing parts of even if you can be the very patriotic about the British Empire or the British, there's very stupid things in any hierarchy system, and that's the thing. So
there are.
Sandy, Abel did this the other day. Do you know any George Foreman or Normal Wisdom that we got on the list? Do we? I don't think we do.
Do I know any what? Say that again.
Do we got any George Foreman or Normal Wisdom on the list? I don't think we do. I said this very politely. They have fun movies, but they're not classic movies. But
You
everybody
mean
knows
George
their names.
Formby?
Yeah,
You said George
Formby.
Foreman.
Oh, do they? Oh, Formby.
Like
yeah, and
the
Norman
boxer.
Livingston.
I'm like, why
Sorry.
would George Foreman be in a movie?
Well, he might be. There might be. They've got to
You're
be
George
a movie.
Formby.
So.
I only know him because of like references in British shows that I've watched,
Yeah.
because no one over here knows George Formby at all.
Okay.
And I only know it because I went to like a stand-up gig with one of your stand-up comedians over there who actually likes George Formby and was singing these songs with a banjo or whatever.
Yeah.
And yeah,
No.
but no, we don't have those. And no, not on the. I'm sorry, Daryl. Daryl, we can't get a Western for you. We're just gonna have to make like a day where we
Just
override
like a Western wheel.
override the wheel, or just have a wheel of Westerns. Yeah, the wheel of Westerns.
The thing is, it will happen, and then it'll be Western. It'll be like there'll be
It will
like
have
a trio
to.
of them. It have to be soon because we'll get to the point where we're like, that's all the war movies done. Dun dun dun. So yeah, it's
Yeah, they'll have to be done
Okay.
because they certainly aren't making good ones, you know,
no.
and they're
Oh,
not
I
making
can't-
anything. And I was going to, and Jay's not here, so we we looked back at 2025 and we talked about what we looked forward to in 2026, which was just about nothing. I mean, really and truly nothing except Project Hail Mary and maybe one other film. But we'll kind of have to keep an eye out for like what else is coming. There aren't so I kind of looked at books, right? I looked at, okay, what books are doing really well. There aren't even good books out there right now.
I don't think they take the risk no more, do they? They just keep it nice and
No.
safe with.
And the one I had hoped would make it on the big screen, they made a miniseries, which was the Ron Chernow book about Ulysses S. Grant, which is so good. And instead of doing a film, they made that 3-part miniseries, which I thought was really well done, but it only played on the History Channel and probably only attracted the history geeks. But his story is such a good story.
Yeah.
Again, another guy kind of coming up from being a farmer to being the commander of all the, of all the Union armies, and then president of the United States. But yeah, nothing on the bookshelves. Nothing in the theaters.
I say, like, yeah, I just keep going back. That's the thing. Everything I'm watching, I'm just going back.
Yep.
back
And we
to
have a
watch
lot to
all
go
the
back
things
to.
like- yeah, that's it. So it's all good. But Sandy, what you got coming up without
Nothing.
your cold?
Just getting better. I got to get better.
Yeah.
I didn't go out today because it was pouring down rain today too. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe I will take a little trip tomorrow just because I'm tired of being cooped up. Yeah, and then just looking forward to watching The Usual Suspects for next week. What about you?
Yes.
What game
Well,
are we
before we do
still
that,
playing?
Tomby Raid. So thank you very much, Tomby.
Oh, hey Tomby.
Yeah, hey Tomby, and his viewers.
Are you still last caretaking?
I'm stopped now, and I mean that is because I've got to the point where there's not much else to do until they do their next big update. That is supposed to be January, so I need a new one. But I'm having fun with those shorts. If you've seen them,
I've seen those. You're making little short movie crazy things.
yeah, I'm really enjoying making them. And the last one I did, and it's so weird when I'm like, because I've done the separate wheel, so I do one wheel, then I do the next. So it's like year, genre, actors, co-stars, wherever it happens, it does it. And it's so weird when what it comes up with. And like, yeah, the last one was the Wolverine one just came out with, like, I was like, okay, well, we got Hugh Jackman in a romance with Adam Sandler and Reese Witherspoon, and then it came up with superhero origin, and I was like, get lost. So I was like that, so I had to do it. But then, yeah, it's quite fun having a bit of a lot of Photoshop skills, and then creating it a little bit in AI, and then going back and then having to mess around with it.
Oh, so it's not totally AI. I thought it was.
No, what I do is
Awesome.
I get all the sequences, then I go, okay, let's think up in my head a little bit of a story in my head, put that little quick narrative with the title I've made up, and then stick that into an AI, and then
I
say
like that.
produce the pictures, and then I go back into Photoshop and mess around with it all, and then do that. So it kind of give an outline. So it's
Oh, that's
sometimes
awesome.
it's weird that it's things, but it's quite good because I can do it in advance, and I just liking it. I just like what the wheel, love the wheel. For
You
this
just
one,
love your wheels.
I
You
just
like
love the wheels,
randomness, don't
and
you?
and I just like it. It's just like what it kind of comes up with now. So yeah, I didn't realize until it happened until I researched that for the James Cagney one with Bob Hope. I didn't know the nickname. I was going to say it to Jay. The nickname of Boston was Beantown.
Beantown, Boston Beans.
Never knew that. So there we go. So I learned something whilst I was doing it. So
Boston
it's
baked
good.
beans.
Yeah, because
And
they
it's
like
not
their
the
beans.
Heinz that you're thinking of. It's
No.
Boston
And I was
baked
like,
beans.
why little beans? I like my beans. But yeah, it's good. So yeah, when it does the areas, but yeah, it was even with the Anne Hathaway one and Zendaya, and then it just went space. I was like, yeah, why is it fitting? It's like sometimes, but I'm guessing it will do once it works out. So
Well, that's fun.
but yeah, it's a lot of fun, and it's like that. And I think I can't remember if it was Awol or Daryl went, "You're giving Hollywood ideas. Stop it."
Yeah, seriously.
Like, they might, if it works, they might as well just do it. You know, it might be just the wheel can create something more interesting,
Better than
doing
what
now.
they're Mhm.
It's like just they might go. You know what? We might as well just do the wheel. It kind of works like that. But some of it. But the last one I did with the Wolverine one. Because it was set in LA and it was origin, I then researched the Chinese massacre in LA in 1873, and I was like, oh, that would have been a good time. So then I went into like a proper history geek, and I was like, oh my god, I've gone down a rabbit hole by myself now. Because then I started going, this is interesting, okay, like that. So then I started learning about the Chinese massacre. Like in LA, and then I just went down a
History
rabbit
is
hole.
more interesting than fiction is.
That is it. And I was like, how good would that have been? And then I kind of thought, like, because that terrible Wolverine origin film that we had, and I was like, oh, how good would it have been? Like the late part of the 19th century in LA. I was like, that makes sense. And I was like, oh, they just didn't have the mindset to do it. And then I was like, oh, it would have just been good to have wise Wolverine, a bit of like Logan, a bit of a up himself. It's because he have a romance story and he lost the love of his life in a fire in the Chinese massacre. And I was like, oh,
absolutely.
I was like, why not? And I was like, add a bit of history to. I think if you add a bit of history and you do it right in a movie, it can work out well. Movies that haven't. Titanic, Pompeii, and Pearl Harbor.
And Pearl Harbor, I was going to say, we've already mentioned it. Pearl Harbor.
Yeah. But I think if you loosely do it, like Gladiator, loosely base it.
Yeah,
it's good.
just a little bit. Just
give it
and like this
clever.
film here, this is historically accurate. It's just a fictional bunch of characters. So, be faithful to the history. Don't try to rewrite the history and make it crazy. But yeah, I'm still working on my public domain video about all the films and artwork and all that were released into the public domain. I don't know if I mentioned it last week, but in the ultimate twist of irony,
you got copyright.
My shorts, both of my shorts about Public Domain Day were hit hard with copyright. Not just, hey, the warning, it was the takedown. They were both taken down. And I've been thinking to myself, okay, great. I was like 2 hours early potentially on the copyright. No, it was the music, which was YouTube music that I've had enough with Canva. I think I went on this rant last week, but I've absolutely had enough with Canva and their tools that you pay for the, to get the music, and then it constantly gets taken down and you still have to go through the process. What a pain. But I am working on something kind of summarizing all the cool things that have been released into the public domain, mostly films. The films are mostly from 1930. So it's a really, really good batch of films to take a look at. Again, more interesting than the films of 2026 might be.
I go, what was it filming? Oh my god! I keep on every time I type like, oh my god, they're remaking this, they're remaking that, like really bad 80s movies, and they're just remaking it for next film. I'm like, why would you even bother? And they're just like, we'll just swap every sex genre, whatever.
Yep.
Just like,
no creative
you're
thought.
You're boring me. It's like that, but yeah, no creative. Yeah,
Not a creative,
because they don't have any time. Like this movie had experience and time. They don't have anything more. But otherwise, haven't we got the greatest TV show coming out soon? The Star Trek Academy.
Oh, please don't hurt my head on that.
I probably will get the first one out of the way, have a meltdown, and then have to have a meltdown with you lot to experience the pain.
It will be a meltdown for sure.
Yeah. It's like a rant about.
I'm not watching it. I'm not watching it.
I will watch the first one just to have that moment of like, oh my, what are they doing? Yeah, that's it. So, but yeah, it's I'm I don't have any. I think it's probably a franchise that could be rescued, to be honest, better than Star Wars. But yeah, they're quickly digging a hole for themselves.
They sort of did it in that last season of Picard, where they realized, hey, let's be respectful to the history and the fans. And what's so annoying, only in what I saw from the trailer is it's getting so old and tired. The whole younger generation knows more than we do. The disrespect for your elders, the disrespect for authority. And I think one of the, I think it was Critical Drinker or someone had said, how is it that in Starfleet Academy, the only references that they can make to historical battles or historical captains are all Kirk, Sisko, and Picard? Like there are thousands of years at this point of Starfleet history, and you've only got 4 captains that you're going to reference, the same ones that we've seen. Yeah, that's weak. Yeah, it's very weak.
No hope for that show. But apart from that, I've got to go to an escape room tomorrow. My niece wanted to go to an escape room.
That'd be fun.
It would be. Unfortunately, when it got picked, they're doing a horror one.
Oh,
and it's called Carnival of something.
Oh no!
And it's got clowns in it.
Clowns,
and Jade is absolutely terrified of clowns.
I'm with you,
and
Jade.
She didn't realize. I was like, the name. She was like, I didn't click the two together. And I was like, you didn't click Carnival. What did you think it was going to be? She was like, oh my God. Yeah, and there's clowns. There's real actors in it. And they come out and scare you. It's dressed as clowns and stuff. And I was like, oh my. I was like, I was like, it goes, I don't want to escape. I just want to film it. I just want to get on my own. I went, you can't take your mobile. And I was like, I just want to film it. I was like, yeah, it'd be more. I won't solve any clues. Just film your reaction through the whole thing. I think that would be more funnier. So yeah, tomorrow, yeah, I'm going to do that. And it's just, with a 12-year-old and then a screaming girlfriend at the same time going,
I'm with you, Jade. Yeah, no, so, yeah. Thank you. I did one of those actually, though. It was more of a like, just kind of, okay, it sound terrible, but like brainiac questions, like really hard puzzles to solve. But it wasn't spooky. It wasn't a mystery. It was just really hard puzzles. And I did have fun. I had fun because our team won, and you always have more fun when you win. But I would not want to do a horror one. No.
I've done a few before, and it was one of the funniest one is Jade's brothers and brother and girlfriend was arguing, and I was at the back, and they were arguing about this puzzle, and I just sat at the back, just being really quiet, and I let them in this little cubicle, and I was there, and I went, I've got it. Just worked out straight away in my head.
Just listening to them.
I just waited. They were arguing. Everybody, we don't do it. There must be another clue. And I just looked at Jane, and she went like that, and I went. I gave a little thumbs up, walked over, went tick, 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 tick. It's done.
And
they were like, I was just like, yeah, you can argue. I'm just going to read the puzzle and work it out in my head while you're like, and it was like that. Oh yeah, it was funny when people argue. No, it's got to be this, got to be this. And I went, you know what? You're overcomplicating it sometimes. Sometimes it's the simplest things. So yeah. Got to do that. So that's a bit of fun. But otherwise from that, it's the snow will be gone now. So yeah, my kid is Oh, he built a snowman, so every day
Nice.
is now. He's gonna be. He's like, oh, it's gonna melt in now. But yeah, I told Sandy he
A
started
little snow
martial
puddle.
arts, and he was like, "Could you build me a bigger one so I can beat it
Ah,
up?"
so you can chop it
I was
down.
like, "What?
Hi-ya.
No, I'm not being a bigger one." He's like, "Oh, he like wants one his own height." I was like, oh, "Okay, whatever." So, but yeah, I'm guessing now I'm gonna get a lot of little punches and kicks all the time coming past, but yeah, it's all a bit of fun, But everybody, have a great rest of the weekend, whatever you're doing. I've got one of the shorts, so I'm going to get that out on Monday. Apart from that, I've got to look for a new game or an old game that I want to play. That's it. So, but
Good.
Jade actually said to play Elder Rings because she was like, I've never heard of it. So there you go.
Oh, if you do, let me know. I will be your sensei. I will be your
No, no.
sensei.
She's
I
like,
will.
oh, well, why do you play it then? And I was like, I think it's quite an epic. Like it's like
It
a
is
few
months.
hundred hours.
Oh,
She was like,
months.
yeah.
Yeah, I think I've got 400 hours in the game.
There you go.
And like I say, I like the open world so much. I like to find everything that I don't just power through to finish the game. I want to
No, I
explore
don't do that.
the
I do like
entire world.
I do like just going off and doing my thing. As
Yep.
most people know, when I play games, I'm a wanderer. All of a sudden, I go walk about. I'm like, oh, I'm off. So that's it. But
I
yes,
still want to see you play Satisfactory because I know how meticulous you are about your building. And for you to build, you have to source the resources and then build the little mines, and then the mines carry the ore or
I have to
whatever
look into it. I
to
think
the
I've seen some people
factory,
play it before, but
and then you
not really
build the
paid attention.
components, and then you build and build and build and build. And mine's a mess. My factory is a mess because my brain doesn't work that way. Yours would be a very elegant solution, or it would drive you mad. I don't know, but
That's going to be going to be like, no, or oh, I like this. That's it. But Silent Hill 2. There we go. Could do that.
oof,
I
no,
don't mind things, but
that's heavy.
yeah. There's not many coming out. There's not coming out soon. There's a couple of games later on that I'm like, ooh, but there's nothing popping
No.
into me. So,
No, the old stuff
need to do
is
some more
good.
reviews.
Now,
But
Elden Ring, there's no building or crafting at all. I mean, you
No.
could craft some little potions and things, but it's the adventuring and defeating and leveling up and leveling up and leveling up. It's but it's great, and the
I'll have to
music
look.
is amazing. That's another one that has brilliant music. But I know you like to build, so I don't know if you like not building.
We'll have to see. That's why I can't go back in the Conan. I don't want another treehouse destroyed.
Guess what I just started again?
Oh, did you? Oh,
My
okay.
own. I'm not on
Button
the
for
server
puzzle.
with everybody else. I'm just on my own. And you know how I joked around about that broken bridge that carries across the entire map? And I always said, what would happen if you would rebuild that bridge? So I've crossed one entire grid block with a one-way, 1x1 bridge/roadway, and it's just going in a straight line, and I've taken it over a mountain. So I've taken it across some water and now over an entire mountain. It took me like 3 days to get over this mountain, but it is literally a one block, 1x1, going in the same direction, like no turns, just going straight. If I hit a wall, I got to go over the wall. If I hit a lake, I got to go over the lake. And that's all I'm doing in Conan. That's what I'm done building my bridge. I'm building my bridge. Good mindless entertainment.
Yes, I'm gonna do. Sometimes I do like a good old build. But everybody, have a great one, and we'll see you for The Usual Suspects. And hopefully, both of you. I know you're a bit poorly, but get a hot toddy. That's what I would say. That will get you nice. Not cleared up, but hopefully Jay is going to be good and fit as well, and we'll find out his score for the Cruel Sea as well. And I'm going to finish the book. Definitely going to finish the book.
Yeah, me too.
You don't have a book for The Usual Suspects. I'm 100% sure.
I don't have a book for The Usual Suspects,
But
and
for
I've
the
got
last-
6 more chapters in the Cruel Sea. They're small chapters, so I've got like 6
and I'm
more.
guessing the Charge of the Light Brigade. There is a book. It's got to be.
I'm sure
There
there's a
has to be
book.
I'm sure there is a book.
I'm just gonna
But
let
if it's-
myself read the poem. That's all.
Yeah. There we go. I think the poem's more probably, it's more dramatic, isn't it? Like that. But I've never seen the book. So
I'll read the history of the poem. That's what I'll do.
There
I'll
we
read
go.
good old Alfred Lloyd Tennyson's why he wrote this poem.
Yes. Okay. Well, everybody have a great one, and we'll see you in the next film club, if not before. Have a great one, and we'll see you soon. Bye bye.